What happened? Oh, are you kidding me? The whole machine. Oh my goodness! It just cut out on me. Oh, I'm gonna have to find something. Unreal. Unreal. I'm gonna have to find something else.
Denture wearers are messy adhesives ruining the taste of your food.
The
Is it
program I
painful
used
for you to
just
eat?
cut
Is
out.
the
I can't believe I got to
constant
get a new
denture movement
program for the
affect your speech?
commercials.
Are you always worried that your dentures will fall out while you're talking or laughing? Do you have sore spots? You are not alone. These are common problems that can be solved simply with dental
Hey guys,
implants.
we'll be on the
This
air in
is
just a
Steve Kane.
minute.
I want to introduce you to Brighton Dental Care, where the Kane family goes for all our dental needs. Brighton Dental Care doesn't want cost to stop you from being able to eat the foods you love again and live in comfort. That's why, for Steve Kane listeners, they're offering implants. Get this, for just $3,500. That includes 2 implants plus a lower denture. Now, if you
All
go to a
right.
dentist in Boca or in Aventura, they're going to charge you $6,000 for the exact same implants
Here we go.
and denture. That's right, $6,000. But at Brighton Dental Care, just $3,500, and that includes the
Make
2
sure you guys
implants
subscribe.
plus your
We're
lower
going live
denture.
now.
Laugh and live with confidence. Call Brighton Dental Care at 954-922-4633, 954-922-4633, and online at brightondentalcare.com. Be sure to ask about special discounts for our military veterans.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected.
Here we go.
Even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators. Like
This
divorce
new
and spouses, lawsuits,
computer system we
fires,
have, I got about
government agencies,
98%
and the
worked
IRS.
out.
This free Living
But
Trust
that
seminar
2%,
is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3
when I'm
p.m.
live,
at
is
the
no
Courtyard
good.
by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
All right.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's 1.
Yes. All right, welcome back, everyone. Yeah, a new day. It's Thursday, the 16th of January, 2020. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. That's right. This is also the most pro-Donald Trump radio show anywhere in America and for the world, for that matter. You will never hear me criticize Donald Trump. You'll never hear me disagree with Donald Trump. You'll never hear me do anything but support Donald Trump. And I know people say, oh, you have no credibility if you do that. I've seen nothing that Donald Trump needs criticism for. I see nothing that he needs me to critique him on. He is doing a wonderful job making America great again. And we're very lucky to be in America while he is our great, great president. So welcome to the program. If you're new, we do take calls. And if you agree or disagree, you are welcome to call. This program is open to all. Okay, can you believe, is it Thursday already? Where did this week go? This is our second full week back in the new year, and it is flying by. Nancy Pelosi screwed up yesterday. We'll talk about that. And, you know, I want to start talking about follow-up to this so-called hot mic incident with Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren is a lifetime liar. She was lying about her Indian background her entire life. She is not a person of credibility. And I don't buy this hot mic moment. Elizabeth Warren set Bernie Sanders up. She's a liar. He has never lied. Let me tell you, I am no Bernie Sanders supporter at all. He's a disaster. He's a communist. He's also a bum. He really is a bum. He had his first full-time job when he was 40 years old, and that's when he got elected to as mayor of that town up in Vermont. I mean, what a bum. I've been working since I was 15, pretty much full-time, not bragging like Hannity. Hannity with his bragging and his resume all the time, but he's a bum and a commie and also a millionaire. So he's also a hypocrite, but he's not a liar. Elizabeth Warren is. And I don't buy this hot mic moment for a moment. She has been setting him up on this sexist, a woman can't be president nonsense, which we all know he didn't say. And she is, she is colluding, maybe even with CNN. Where did that mic audio come from? Because I'm going to play it in a moment. The audio quality is spectacular. Spectacular. For that mic to be picked up so clearly, all the mics would have to be off except for hers. I mean, you would get feedback. The mic quality is too good for just some hot mic moment. So is CNN colluding to get Warren some victory here in this Iowa caucus? Hey, listen, they gave the debate questions to Hillary Clinton, so we know CNN is dishonest when it comes to debating, even though Brian Stelter's doing a fake news documentary. Here you've got them setting up the debate in the 2016 election, giving Hillary the questions. Covington, Catholic schoolboys, but they're calling out, the media is credible and is fake. Well, we'll get to that another time. But Elizabeth Warren is not only setting him up with this lie that he said a woman can't be president, she's conspiring with someone to get this hot mic moment. She knew damn well that mic was running. She knew damn well that was recording. And she's living out the lie. And I hope somebody comes out with that. For that hot mic moment to come out, a few people would have to be involved. I'm going to play it for you right now. We'll talk about it. This is Elizabeth's so-called hot mic moment.
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
Oh, and if you don't know, this is, yesterday we saw the video of this with no audio. This is after the debate was over. She goes up to Bernie Sanders and refuses to shake his hand, and they exchange words, and this is the exchange.
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
What?
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
Let's not do it right now. You want to have that discussion, we'll have that discussion. You called me, you told me, all right, let's not do it now.
I don't want to get in the middle. I just want to say hi, Bernie.
Yeah, good. Okay.
This Tom Steyer, what a clown he is. Here's this great moment of conflict between Senator Sanders and Senator Warren, two sitting United States senators. It's unheard of. And then this starstruck Tom Steyer, I don't mean to interrupt this moment. That Elizabeth Warren must be so pissed off at that Tom Steyer because she set this whole hot mic in quotation marks moment up. And she was expecting more of a confrontation, and then Tom Steyer comes and blows the whole damn thing for her. But she got a little bit of it there. I think you called me a liar. Oh, boy. I tell you, Elizabeth Warren, out of all the Democrats running, and this is a strong statement to make, because there's a lot of clowns up there running. Elizabeth Warren is the most dangerous of all the Democrats running. Not only did she lie on national TV to the media and to the American people about this phone conversation with Bernie where she claims he said a woman can't be president, she goes up to him to his face and continues the lie after she brought it up in the debate. And, they're friends, they are colleagues, and she's in the man's face. And when she's in Bernie Sanders' face, lying inches from him, she doesn't even blink. If Elizabeth Warren will betray a colleague, a fellow sitting United States senator, a friend, someone she's known for a long time, my goodness, what would she do to the country? What would she do for the slightest bit of personal gain with people she has no personal contact with, that she doesn't have to face like that? She's a very dangerous person. And you know what? This is going to backfire on her. I'm telling you, this is going to backfire on her because this is becoming her whole campaign now. And she's pushing it too far, and she's going to continue to push it. And Bernie is going to push back, and he's going to push back hard. And he can get nasty. He's a crotchety old guy. You're on the radio. Good morning.
It's Mike and Boca. How are you?
All right, Mike and Boca. What's up?
2016, when Hillary was in the primaries, Hillary and Bernie, they pretty much, Hillary and the Democratic Party shut him down. And
Yeah.
not fight back. He just he's selling the store.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's going to fight back. I honestly don't. He's going to keep quiet about it. And I know she's lying. I mean, she's been lying since high school, I would assume, about everything. And That's all I gotta say. I mean,
Well, hold on. What happened in the last election with Bernie Sanders, it's not that he didn't fight back. He was bought off. If you remember, Barack Obama, who was president at the time, I know a lot of us have blacked that out and blocked it out because it was such a bad time. But President Obama summoned Bernie Sanders to the White House. They had a private meeting, and Bernie came out. Next thing you know, he's supporting Hillary and buying a beach house. So they bought him off in the last election. Yeah, I wouldn't. And you know, this is a little bit different than what happened there. What happened there is they had that super delegate, and they were stealing the nomination from him. So he thought, and they bought him off, and he sold out. This is different. They're accusing him of being a sexist, which is the same as accusing someone of being a racist, especially in liberal circles. Someone calls me a sexist, it's such a joke, I'd laugh it off. But in liberal circles, it's a big deal. It's like calling him a racist who said terrible things about black people. It's like she's accusing him of having said the N-word. And he will fight back. And she is going to continue to push this on him. And she's doing this publicly, accusing him of being a sexist. This is different than some back room deal to steal delegates. They're out there calling him something pretty hardcore in public. And when Elizabeth Warren scares me that she is so easily prepared to lie to someone's face that she's known for years and works with. What would she do with us, who she doesn't know and has no connection to? That's right. All right, Boca's done. He's got nothing else to say, but that's okay. He did make a good point. Oh, my goodness. I tell you, and you hear her tone?
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
What?
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
Let's not do it right now. You want to have that discussion, we'll have that discussion. You called me, you told me. All right, let's not do it now.
I don't want to get in the middle of it. I just want to say hi, Bernie.
Yeah, good.
Tom Steyer, what a clown he is. I see all these guys that are idiots and they're so wealthy. And me, I just work for a living. Why is somebody like Tom Steyer, this starstruck Bernie Sanders sycophant, you know, who interrupted? Can you imagine? Elizabeth Warren must be so pissed off that Tom Steyer gave Bernie an out there because she had a whole plan there. You know, she doesn't do anything off script. Remember, even her closing statement, Elizabeth Warren was reading. Is there anyone who buys that is a legitimate hot mic moment? Does anyone buy that's a legitimate hot mic moment, or does it sound set up to you? It does sound set up to me. For that to be set up, she would have to be colluding with people that control them, not just the microphones, but a recording. And, you know, on debate stages, no matter how many, there are mics all over the place, right? There's a mic at every podium, and some of them even have mics on their clothing. And this is true for every debate since there's been televised debates since Nixon Kennedy. Have you ever, and I'll throw this out because I can't think of one, have you ever heard of a so-called hot mic moment at any debate? I've never heard of this before. And whoever is moderating the debate, whatever television outlet is in charge of televising the debate, they control the mics and the recording devices. So, yeah, so the only conclusion I can make is like in the 2016 debate and like in the 2012 debate, CNN is colluding with the candidate. They did it in 2016. Remember, Donna Brazile gave the debate questions to Hillary Clinton. In 2012, Candy Crawley was caught on TV colluding with Barack Obama in that Mitt Romney debate. Remember that one? So 3 presidential elections, and CNN has colluded in all 3. CNN would have to be in collusion with this. Where did the audio come from, and why only that mic? There's microphones all over the place. Have you ever heard of a hot mic moment at a debate? I've never heard of one before. Ever. So CNN's chosen candidate is Elizabeth Warren, and they're colluding. Let's take our first break of this Thursday morning. I got to tell you, you know, one thing we like to do here on the Steve Kane Show is find ways for our listeners to save money, big money. And there's a great way to do that. That's called Debbie at I Will Advisors, and have her review your homeowner's insurance policy at no charge. And you property owners too. You have property insurance on your commercial property you're paying big bucks for. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors. This costs you nothing. She'll review your policy at no charge. She'll tell you if your homeowner's policy is right or if you're paying too much. And I'm telling you, you're probably paying too much. It's amazing how this happens. You know, it's a racket that's going on with insurance companies. Every year, your homeowner's insurance premiums go up. And if it's attached to your mortgage, you know, that means your mortgage payment is going up. And a lot of you may say, well, my mortgage payment stays kind of constant. Yeah. You know, as you pay more of that principal off, the actual mortgage payment goes down, but these things you have bundled into it, like your property insurance, go up, and it makes it seem like it's staying about the same every year. If your homeowner's insurance policy is bundled with your mortgage payment, that means you'll be lowering your mortgage payment without doing any refinancing or anything. You know, it's one of those places where most people bleed money and they don't know it because they have the policy bundled up with their mortgage. So you don't see the bill, or you never notice the bill. Call Debbie and I will advisors. No matter where you are in the state of Florida, Debbie can help you. From Key West all the way through the Panhandle, right up to the border in Jacksonville with Georgia, she can help you. If you're local here in South Florida, Debbie can come to you. Her number is 954-753-8080. And again, you commercial property owners, you call Debbie too. If you're listening right now early in the morning at 6:19 a.m., call her right now and leave a message. If you're an overnight listener, call in the middle of the night and leave a message. They will call you back during business hours, 954-753-8080. I review my policy each and every year. Steve just did it with Debbie a couple of weeks back. Okay? And you should too. 954-753-8080. Have a review your homeowner's policy. It costs you nothing. Even if you make a change, it costs you nothing. 954-753-8080. Save some money, all right? 954-753-8080. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Gaines tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Are you experiencing a loss of your sexual desire as well as your ability to have sex, period? This is Dr. Mitchell Matez of the Boca Raton Center for Age Management. I am pleased to tell you about the latest breakthrough in sexual enhancement for women. It's called the O-Shot, and it will change your life. Increased sexual desire, increased sensitivity, and increased stimulation all can be yours with a simple, safe, and painless procedure done in our office in a matter of minutes. As an added benefit, the procedure is also effective in controlling urinary incontinence. If you are interested in better and more pleasurable sex, call my office today at 953-5490. That's area code 561-953-5490.
What investigation is that, Katina?
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
Yes, we are back. My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Yeah, so Elizabeth Warren is living a lie. She's setting Bernie Sanders up, and basically Bernie Sanders is being treated like a Republican. This is how they treat Republicans. Rarely do you see this happen to Democrats. Oh, man. Okay, so Nancy Pelosi yesterday, oh, my goodness. You know, I thought it might have just been my personal disgust with Nancy Pelosi as a person, okay? Because I listened to her whole speech yesterday. I'm not going to play you a bunch of Nancy Pelosi clips. I've got one because I want to talk about it, and it's painful because I can't stand listening to her talk. She had a complete disaster last night, or yesterday afternoon, I should say, and I thought it was just me. But CNN's Dana Bash agreed. when she signed those articles of impeachment and she turned it into a celebration. We're going to talk about that coming up. How inappropriate, how disgusting, what a lowlife. Someone on Fox, I heard say early this morning, say that she's suffering with partisan rage. Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. And I'm glad CNN is all over Nancy. You're on the radio. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Hello. Good morning. You're on the air.
What you're talking about. The president's being railroaded by Romney. That's why Pelosi held back the papers.
Well, tell me about that.
She gave him time to get these Republicans together to go against him. Trial.
Oh, so you are saying that you think Mitt Romney has corralled enough senators that President Trump is going to be removed from office?
Oh, they're going to try to do it. I don't know if they'll do it, but I don't trust him. He told Pelosi that. Remember, he called her and told her?
Well, Mitt Romney is a pathetic man. He's a snake. And this is what's going on with Mitt Romney with this impeachment. You know, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot. We're here for 3 hours a day. So if I don't get to everything in the first 15 minutes, I apologize. We do have 3 hours a day. Mitt Romney, what he's doing here, you're right. Mitt Romney's behind this. And I'll tell you, his running mate, that other snake, Paul Ryan's involved in this up to his eyeballs, too. We don't hear from this guy who leaves the speakership, right, at that age. Mitt Romney, what he is doing here, now Mitt Romney, you got to understand, is not a sane person. He doesn't see the world clearly. He's insane, right? And he has Trump derangement syndrome as bad as they had it at the Javits Center on election night. He just hides it in public. He believes that Donald Trump will be removed from office, Mitt Romney. You're correct. That'll make Pence the president. Pence has to appoint a VP. He thinks he's going to get that appointment and be the VP. Already in the House, they've been talking for weeks about now investigating and impeaching Vice President Pence, who would become the president. Mitt Romney thinks he's going to become the president through this. He thinks Pence is going to be thrown out too, or at least not be able to get the nomination. Mitt Romney sees a path to the presidency through this. And I know that sounds crazy, but Mitt Romney's a nut.
I don't know. He's psychotic. I don't trust him, and I'm worried about the president.
Where are you calling from, by the way? Where are you calling from? Okay, you're down here in South Florida. You know, Mitt Romney, I wonder how long he's been this way, because back in 2012, I supported him. I voted for him. We had him on the show. We've had him on the show a couple of times, Mitt Romney. And I just wonder if he was always so little, so petty, so evil, and so insane, or did he lose his mind with the rise of Trump? I don't know.
Oh, no. Trust him. I'm really worried about the president.
Well, let me tell you, I was talking about this before the impeachment vote, and a lot of Republicans were saying, let's have the trial, let's get it all out. No way. Once you get into a trial, you're of any kind, it's an unknown. That's why in criminal courts, people, and in civil courts, people make out-of-court deals and out-of-court settlements, because court is unpredictable, no matter what. Whether you're guilty, whether you're innocent, whether you're not liable, once you go to court, it's an unknown. So having a trial,
Dismissed.
It should be dismissed.
That's why she held those papers back so Romney could get these senators.
Well, I agree with you, and we've talked about that on the program. What they've been doing, they've been corralling senators to get votes for witnesses, certainly. So we are probably going to get the witness wish from the liberals with new evidence to be introduced in all of this, because they probably have. Well, they already got two. They got him, and who's that creepy lady, that always votes with the Democrats. So they've got the votes for the witnesses. I would say, if I were to bet money on it right now. Susan Collins. I think so. Yeah. So, well, listen. There is. I'll tell you. You get into a trial, and these Republicans allow witnesses. See, I don't trust Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell's wife, the Secretary of Transportation, is from one of the most prominent families in all of China. And do you think Mitch McConnell's Chinese family are happy about this trade deal that was signed by the president yesterday? And of course not. So you've got a lot of never Trumpers like Mitch McConnell who pretend to support the president who don't. And it is possible that they bring in some witnesses like this guy that was on Rachel Maddow's show last night. And in light of new evidence, I support him, but this is out. They do see a path to removal here. I mean, I can't be some cheerleader like Hannity and deny that. There is a path to removal from office here.
Holiness.
That was the delay. No, you're absolutely right. No, I could not agree with you more, and it's frightening, and I'm sickened by it. Now, if they allow witnesses, and on that witness list is not the whistleblower and Hunter Biden, you know they're making a move.
Well, they won't testify. Know that.
Who won't testify?
Mr. Biden and his son, they're not going to testify. They'll refuse to testify.
You can't refuse this. This is a trial presided over by the Supreme Court Chief Justice. You know, if you receive a subpoena, you got to show. You've got to show if there's a subpoena. If you're Hunter Biden or the whistleblower, you cannot refuse. See, this is what they're thinking. This is, they have a plan. And you got to understand, these are not just devious people whose world has been turned upside down because Trump with no earmarks and the trade deals and all of this, and the donors have lost their juice. They're also, like Nancy Pelosi, insane. All of them, the Republican establishment too. And I've been talking about this for weeks. I was talking about it on my podcast last night with my wife. And, they think that when they bring in witnesses, that Donald Trump is going to be compelled to testify, that he is going to be so outraged that he is going to testify. And they believe that there is going to be a Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson, a few good men moment with Trump testifying in his own defense in the Senate trial. And then the country will see what a corrupt, petty, insane man he is. He'll lose public support so they can remove him because he'll lose public support. I'm telling you, these are scenarios they're working around. And Nancy Pelosi was too happy yesterday.
I know.
Yeah. I know you don't sound too...
Independent, because I don't trust the Republicans. They're just wimps.
Well, that's not good because you always want to be able to vote in the primaries. And in Florida, if you're not a member of the Republican Party, you can't vote in the Republican primary.
Sure, you can do that.
Well, okay. If you do that, that's fine. No, I can see myself easily leaving the... Oh, Little Marco? I don't trust Little Marco. No, I don't trust Little Marco. He's another liar. I'm not running for senator. I'm running for president. And then when he finds himself cleaning the leaves off the driveway with no future other than maybe having to get a job, all of a sudden he's called to run for the Senate again. No, I don't trust Little Marco. I don't trust him. No, I'm sorry. But yeah, you're right. Mitt Romney is working to remove our president from office, and a trial is scary to me. It's going to be... I got to tell you, if they do witnesses and everything, I don't know if I can stand to watch it. I mean, I know. All right, I appreciate the call. You don't sound too happy. You sound discouraged.
I'm very upset. Extremely upset.
Yeah.
Sick to my stomach.
I know.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. I know. I'm not happy either. I'm sick to my stomach as well. I really am. And Nancy was too happy yesterday. See, she knows more about what's going on the inside than we do. Let's take our break, all right? My name's Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Don't go anywhere.
Right now, the U.S. is in the midst of a deadly opioid epidemic. In South Florida alone, someone suffers an overdose every 2 hours, either from heroin, fentanyl, or some other prescription medication that's as close as the family medicine
Publicly.
cabinet. In fact, mom and dad's medicine
Publicly.
cabinet is frequently the gateway to the horrors of hardcore addiction down the road. Drug problems left unattended are only going to get worse. This is not something you can do on your own. You need expert professional help, and if your family is disintegrating in front of your eyes and you feel helpless, I'm here to tell you that help is available. Call my good friend Sal at the Edge Recovery, 561 area code 523-4325. This is his personal cell phone, 561-523-4325.
Well, I have to.
If your loved
Steve
one
Kane Show.
refuses treatment, the Edge Recovery will conduct an
Steve
intervention
Kane Show.
and get them into the treatment plan that they need. The Edge
Steve Kane
Recovery
Show.
offers every option, from intervention to 30-day rehab to sober living to counseling with a licensed therapist, as well as group therapy treatment. It's covered by most insurance, but no matter what your situation is, the Edge Recovery has options for you. Call Sal at the Edge Recovery. Do it today. 561 area code 523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal cell phone, 561-523-4325.
Are you looking to sell your house or buy your dream home? Then call LaBella Real Estate. LaBella Real Estate love President Trump, and like Donald Trump, LaBella Real Estate want to get you the highest dollar amount when selling your home. And when looking for a new home, LaBella Real Estate will find you the best deal. LaBella Real Estate have over 20 years of experience in real estate and mortgages. And they're very knowledgeable about the South Florida real estate market. If it's a condo, single-family home, a luxury home, LaBella Real Estate can help. Buying or selling, call LaBella Real Estate at 561-445-7023. 561-445-7023. And online, LaBellaRealEstateLLC.com. This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar.
Steve
Be
Kane
sure
Show.
you and your family are properly protected.
Steve Kane Show.
If you already have a trust, learn how to avoid losing an inheritance from predators like divorced spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352.
I'll check it out today. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian, always here with you each and every weekday morning. It's 35 minutes after the hour. Oh, man. I know the tough trial's coming up. I got to tell you guys about our newest sponsor, and that, of course, is ExpressVPN. Any of you guys use ExpressVPN? It's absolutely amazing. I'm here to tell you ExpressVPN. You know, internet security is so important. We do everything online, whether you're at home or out and about with your cell phone. And ExpressVPN, they approached us to advertise here on the Steve Kane Show, and they offered an incredible deal for Steve Kane listeners. You will actually save up to 49% off. You heard me right, 49% off when you go to ExpressVPN/Kane Radio, K-A-N-E. There's a direct link right at stevekaneshow.com. ExpressVPN.com/Kane Radio. Save up to 49% off. I have ExpressVPN. I use it all the time. I'm now secure. I had over $300, almost $400 through an unsecured network taken right out of my account. And luckily, I was looking at the phone when it happened. I tell you, that was a panic. I eventually got the money back. Very difficult. You know, when you're out and about with your iPads or your cell phones, and you're out there, all the data on your computers, on your mobile devices is out there in the air. It's like radio signals for people to grab onto. And ExpressVPN protects you from that. It encrypts your signal. It makes you secure. Internet privacy, too, is a big thing. And I've been using ExpressVPN now for a couple of weeks, and I absolutely love it. There's some added benefits, too, that I found. I signed on to a server in the UK and got to see the live action Attack on Titan. You know, you can see Netflix in other countries, and they have shows and movies that we don't get on American Netflix. and it's a pretty cool benefit. But most importantly, internet privacy and internet security. ExpressVPN.com/Kane Radio, KANE, and save up to 49% off. Again, the direct link at SteveKaneShow.com, ExpressVPN.com/Kane Radio. Save 49%. And if you're already using a VPN, cancel it and sign up for our deal because it's such a great deal, plus you're supporting the show. That's ExpressVPN.com/Kane Radio. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian. This is Todd from Sunrise.
Hey, Todd in Sunrise. How you doing?
I'm great. My perspective is I understand what you're saying about the child having a...
Yeah, tag me on Twitter, Katina.
But I look at it from the working man's perspective because I work every day. I got a 401k, and I've seen my 401k go up dramatically over the last couple of years. And there's a lot of people like me out there that quietly support Trump, and a lot of people that are very armed. I think that the Democrats and the establishment don't realize what they're playing with. If they remove a very popular person, there could be an insurrection. It could be very, very violent. People who don't really talk about violence, but
Well, we're not going to talk about that on the show. All right, let's take another call. You're on the radio.
Hey, Brian, it's Jeff.
Yeah, and people around the country that are doing talk shows and things, you got to be very careful of things like that because there's a lot of people out there that try to jam you up by talking like Bernie Sanders campaign workers. All right. Good morning. Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Hey, Brian,
Katina's great. Her artwork is
not to be trusted.
Yeah.
Think that he can afford to do anything against Trump and win re-election?
Well, see, what you're not factoring it, no, unless, okay, because you got to understand, Donald Trump has turned the political establishment's world upside down. Who owns the Congress, both houses, or the donors? The donors have lost their juice. And, yesterday, President Trump signed part 1 of this China trade deal. Okay? And, I've talked about this a lot, and it's so important. These trade deals are out of whack on purpose. Our Congress and our government officials at every level, from the presidents down to the bureaucrats, have been selling this country out. And the trade deals are out of balance on purpose. And Donald Trump has renegotiated so many of them, and he's still doing it like the China deal. This is costing more money to the donors and to these politicians than we could even count. Okay, a number so big that I don't know if we could even, if you saw the number written out on a piece of paper, you'd have to start counting the commas to read the number. I mean that, and it's that big. And when they have a trial and they call witnesses, don't be surprised if you see some Stormy Daniels type come in. I'm telling you, these are people whose world has been turned upside down in a way that we don't even understand. And they see something like that. They see some bombshell witness and some Jack Nicholson, A Few Good Men meltdown with Donald Trump. Everything they've done is a scheme to try to turn the Trump base against him. And they think they can do it here. Nancy was too happy yesterday.
Susan Collins is a rhino. She's District 2 in Maine from where I'm from. And I think she's trying to walk the fence, saying we need to do this, we need to do that. But she's up for re-election, and she cannot win in District 2 if she turns on Trump.
But they don't see what they're look at this guy that was on with Rachel Maddow last night. And I know Rush had been talking about this guy for some time. Okay. When they talk about witnesses, they're talking about bringing in witnesses at the last minute that are going to have all kinds of slanders and characterizations backed up by nothing, just like in the House. They think they can turn us against him. Look, the Mueller report. Remember what happened with the Mueller report? They thought the Mueller report was going to turn us against him. It didn't.
End them.
Yeah, and then when the report came out and it was a dud, they had him testify. And I was watching, I was talking about this on my podcast. Do you listen to my podcast? Sometimes, shame on you. Listen to it every day. I'm on most podcast platforms, and I also upload it to YouTube. Hey, shame on you. I do 2 shows a day, man. You know what I mean? It's tough. But here's the Brian Craig Show podcast, by the way. They think that when they had some of this on the podcast last night, when they had Mueller testifying, there was a build up to that. I was listening to one of the anchors on CNN or MSNBC, I can't remember which, and they said, when you read the report, it's kind of dry and uninteresting, but to hear the author himself read from the report, that will wake people up to the gravity of what Trump has done. And then Mueller got there and he was incoherent. I mean, he was so senile with Alzheimer's, he didn't know if Bush was president or Trump, and that everything fizzled. Everything has been a scheme to turn us against him, and they think that they're going to be able to do that in an impeachment trial. That's why they've been pushing for witnesses. And I don't buy this act from the Republican establishment about not having witnesses. To me, I see them caving on that already.
That was what the House was all about, was having that, right? The Senate doesn't have to do that.
Well, the impeachment of Bill Clinton in 1998, 22 years ago, I remember it very well. I don't remember witnesses.
In the Senate.
Yeah, what I remember were the House managers pontificating. It's what I remember. I just don't remember. Were there witnesses? I don't recall witnesses in that. Do you?
And I think it's something new that they're just trying to prolong.
Yeah.
It's just hurting them. I believe for every Republican, if they got them to vote for the impeachment, this is my opinion, there's going to be 2 Democrats that vote against it. I think they're in a losing battle, and when it's all said and done, the dust is cleared, Trump is going to be standing there, going to look more like a bunch of clowns and idiots.
Well, I hope. I truly hope. Yeah, I truly hope. But, again, a trial is an unknown. It's a complete unknown. And you got to understand that when someone is consumed with hate is the worst of all emotions, because it's like you're when I was a young guy, I was pissed off at everybody all the time, and I would obsess over things. And when you're consumed with rage, you don't see things clearly, and they don't see things as clearly as you and I do. And I'm talking about sitting United States senators that are Republican. And I do agree with the earlier caller that Mitt Romney has been is in his twisted mind, he sees a path to the presidency in this for him.
I hate the same as the Democrats.
Yeah.
Pulling off the chain. I don't know how they ever voted him in, and I don't see how he can.
Mitt Romney, because he's the top Mormon in America, and he got elected out of Utah, which is the Mormon Mecca. Yeah, that's why. A lot of people don't know he was the governor not of Utah but of Massachusetts. A lot of people assume because he's Mormon that he was the governor of Utah. He wasn't. Governor of Massachusetts.
Because I'm from New England.
Yeah.
He came out of Mass, but I forgot he had Mormon roots.
Yeah, he's the top Mormon in the world. If they had a pope, he'd be it. And nothing against Mormons. My wife's best friend is Mormon. She was staying with us for a week recently, and I talked to her a lot about this. And the Mormons in Utah, she tells me they love Trump. But, yeah, and they're not big fans of Mitt Romney's behavior, even though they sent him to the Senate. Yeah. So, yeah.
I really enjoy your show, Brian. You do a great job. And the people I've met on this show is awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I think in November we're going to be celebrating, and we're going to have a jubilation in America.
Well, yeah.
A tide come and break. You know how a tide comes in, so
yeah,
but all of a sudden it's on top of you.
Well, yeah. We're celebrating, man, because don't forget, in December. In fact, let me check the date here, because December 6th. We leave. We're having the Steve KANE Trump 2020 Victory Cruise out of Fort Lauderdale on the Celebrity Edge, December 6th. We're heading to San Juan, Puerto Rico, Tortola, British Virgin Islands, and St. Martin. And we are having a Trump Victory Cruise 7 days at sea, leaving on December 6th this year. So, and by the way, you're invited.
I'm going to really try to go. The first time I went to Puerto Rico was in the Marine Corps, and I jumped in from a seat. I'd like to see it from a distance.
Well, let me tell you something. When you enter San Juan Harbor, which we do, and you do during the day, it is. I've been all over the Caribbean. It is so beautiful because when you come into the port, they have that Spanish castle right there, a fort that you. It's gorgeous. So you definitely should join us. By the way, all of you are invited except Al the John, Liberal Al the John. He's not invited. And by the way, that's not a joke. I've told our cruise. Our Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot, our travel agent, that and I know his real name, that Al DeJohn is not to be a part of our group. Yeah. So give Ian a call. Talk to him about the cruise. Ian and I are making a lot of plans on this cruise. 561-244-5779. The Steve Kane Trump 2020 Victory Cruise. 7 days on the Celebrity Edge, leaving December 6th. Ian's number listed at SteveKaneShow.com from Cruise and Travel Depot. 561-244-5779. 5779. All right, Jeff and Maine, take care. All right, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESCAPE.
Oh, Jeff's always good.
855-352-3782.
This is Steve Kane. When it comes to looking your best, sometimes you need a little extra help. Dr. Nathan at the Nathan Clinic is a renowned plastic surgeon here in South Florida who will bring out your most beautiful self. Dr. Nathan, highly skilled.
Oh, that's awesome.
Reveal your inner beauty
Yeah.
and make you look your absolute best.
You're booked,
He's
huh?
a board-certified plastic surgeon. People come from miles
Sure.
around just because of his extraordinary skills and his caring bedside manner. Dr. Nathan performs breast augmentations, facelifts, Botox, tummy tucks, liposuction, and much, much more. Visit his website. Read the testimonials from his patients. They love Dr. Nathan, and you will too. He has years of experience and impressive credentials that make Dr. Nathan the only plastic surgeon you need visit. He'll advise you and tell you the best course of action so that you will always remain true to who you are. You can contact Dr. Nathan for a no-charge consultation by calling 305 area code 680-5121. That's area code 305-680-5121 or online.
They have no idea, Rob. Oh, hey, by the way, Rob, thanks. Rob's a Patreon supporter of my podcast. I appreciate that, Rob. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. We're like 98% up and running with our new computer system, but I keep having a problem here or there with it. But we're keeping on trucking. We're keeping on trucking. It's a little tough there. The program likes to crash on me on occasion, which it just did already again. Anyway, welcome back to the program. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Let's go to Mike. Hey, Mike, you're on the radio.
Let me ask you this. We know that the Democrats tend to make political calculations. Let me ask if the fact that he put McConnell's wife, the president did, in his administration, could that be some sort of a political calculation? Because, you know, I think the president wants a trial, but the people around him don't want a trial.
Yeah.
All right. So could it be that him putting his wife in the administration is some sort of a political calculation to keep?
Well, you know, yesterday her name's Elaine Chao. She's Secretary of Transportation, and I don't trust women who keep their maiden name. I'm sorry. And you know, the thing about Elaine Chao, you know, that name, why, you know, she kept that name because it's such a prominent name in China. Her father went to school with the former president of China. And Peter Schweitzer, in not his most recent book on Biden, but his previous book, talked about how her family gave Mitch McConnell $15 million. Boy, that's a nice little dowry, you know. What else are they, you know, so I don't trust any of that. I don't trust any of that. I think there's too many conflicts of interest.
Like you said, I mean, I'd love to see them let out, you know, just drop it like
You
a
guys
hot
didn't know
potato,
that?
you know. But I mean, like I said, the president may not want that. He may actually want a trial.
You never want a trial. The only people that want trials are lunatics like Ted Bundy, the criminally insane, always want trials so that they can showboat and go out there and be their own lawyer and testify and everything else, you know. You know, and to put together when Nancy Pelosi came out yesterday and she described the House managers as patriots. I mean, goodness, you know, Adam Schiff is leading a team of patriots. Come on. Well, you kept your maiden name? Oh my goodness. What about women? A woman in the chat room said she kept her maiden name. What do you think about when you're not married? Have you been married?
No, never been.
Never been married. How old are you?
I'm in my 40s, and
why not? You're not gay, right?
No. I just couldn't get any of the girls to go out with me. You know.
You can't get a date? Still?
I just at one point I just stopped trying.
Is there? Let me ask you, because are you? And I'm not trying to insult you because you know talk. Are you? Is there a disability or an illness that you have or something, or is there something like?
I do have a disability, but I don't blame that on my disability. I blame it on just.
The reason I ask about the disability is because in talk radio, there's a lot of people that are, you know, disabled or shut-ins and seniors and things like that. So I don't ask it to, you know, there's just a large group of people. What is your disability?
I have several of them. One with my eyes that I'm basically going blind. That I can't pass a driver's test. You know.
Oh, so you can't drive. How long has it been since you could drive?
Well, I've been going blind since birth. So.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of visually impaired people that listen to talk radio for obvious reasons. I've met many listeners over the years who are 100% blind. You know, that's interesting. So, you know, here in South Florida, we have like communities, like organizations for the visually impaired. You're not a part of that in Louisiana, something like that, where there's. Because if you're visually impaired, like you know, there's a listener to this program. He's a good guy, Jim Lockwood. He's a good conservative guy. He's 100% blind. You know, he has the seeing eye dog and everything going on. He's a very successful conservative attorney. He calls in sometimes, but there must be some group near you for visually impaired people where you can meet it. Because if you're visually impaired, looks aren't that important to you, right?
Right.
I mean, I guess what you feel is important. There must be some support in your area for visually impaired people.
I really haven't figured that out. It's one of these things. My visual impairment is due to the fact that I have these weak optic nerves and they're degenerating and it can't be corrected.
When's the last time you had a relationship with a woman?
Probably before 1996.
Oh my goodness! And how old are you? What year were you born? Oh my! Oh, you're a year younger than me. So since you were 24, you haven't had a girlfriend since you were 24. Oh my goodness! Do you? I mean, come on! With the age of the internet and everything, there must be. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Well, listen, reach out.
Don't trust women that keep their maiden names. None of the women I know have kept their maiden names.
No. In fact, I wouldn't marry a woman if she wasn't going to take my name. I wouldn't marry her.
Oh no.
If my wife and I, got married after we knew each other for 6 weeks. Well, I know some of you know that. Not everybody knows that. But my wife and I met, and 6 weeks later we were married. And we've been married over 20, I don't know how many years, well over 20 years now. We just had our anniversary last month. I lose track of the years. But if my wife told me, even after that, she did not want to change her last name, I would be a little taken aback by that. I'd be, why? That's an odd thing, I think, for a woman to do.
Oh, sure. And there are nice conservative women that aren't married. I mean, look, former Secretary of State, now at the college, that worked in the Bush administration, she's not married. Secretary Rice.
Condoleezza Rice? Well, a lot of women that are like movers and shakers like that, they're not married because they're dedicated to career. That's why a lot of people like Ronald Reagan have wrecked families and the kids hate him and everything. To be at that level, a lot of times, people neglect family, neglect wives, neglect husbands, neglect children. So you find a lot of women at the top of the game that are without children and husbands. But but that's just me. All right, hey, listen, Mike, if there's any single ladies in Louisiana, Mike seems like a nice guy to me, he's looking for a lady, hasn't had a girlfriend since 1996. That's terrible. Oh my goodness. Well, Al the John, is a different type of person than you are. He's a person of low moral character. All right, Mike in Louisiana, thanks for the call. Oh, man, kind of brought me down there. You guys a little brought down by that? Oh. Well, in the next hour, let's do some lifting up. My name's Brian. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE 1. 888-465-2631. Well, the thing is with men and women, it's difficult for somebody who's a man, who's disabled, can't work, et cetera, to meet someone. Men don't care. I mean, men care about, what men care about, a man could walk into McDonald's right now to get a breakfast burrito and be perfectly happy with the girl working behind the counter, going home with him and marrying him and having a family. But women, it's a little different. Women have all these standards, and it's true. And a lot of women, like he's 40. When women get to be 40-ish, 35 and above, and they're single and looking, it's very difficult for them to land a man because women have standards that are nearly impossible. When they get to be 35 and above, they all have lists. And it's a checklist. And they're looking for a man, and they need to go through their list and check everything off. And if there's one thing on that list that they can't check off, they don't want anything to do with the guy, right? They want him to be 40, make 6 figures a year, have no ex-wife, have no kids, et cetera. Well, if he's successful at 40, he would have some of those things, right? And it's difficult. I feel so sorry for people that are 35 and above that are single. It's got to be just a nightmare. I could not imagine. All right, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. 888-GO-KANE 1. That's our number, toll free from anywhere. 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Talk Network is 95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470 WWNN Pompano Beach.
Right now, the U.S. is in the midst of a deadly opioid epidemic. In South Florida alone, someone suffers an overdose every 2 hours, either from heroin,
the list.
or some other
that's a big thing with women. List.
That's as close as the family medicine cabinet. In fact,
never married, no kids, 40, 6 figures a year.
The gateway to the horrors of hardcore addiction down the road. Drug problems left unattended are only going to get worse. This is not something you can do on your own. You need expert professional help, and if your family is disintegrating in front of your eyes and you feel helpless, I'm here to tell you that help is available. Call my good friend
So there,
Sal
I
at
didn't
the
miss
Edge
what the so
Recovery,
there's about.
561 area code 523-4325. This is his personal cell phone, 561-523-4325. If your loved one refuses treatment, the Edge Recovery will conduct an intervention and get them into the treatment plan that they need. The Edge Recovery offers every option, from intervention to 30-day rehab to sober living to counseling with a licensed therapist, as well as group therapy treatment. It's covered by most insurance, but no matter what your situation is, the Edge Recovery has options for you. Call Sal at the Edge Recovery. Do it today. 561 area code 523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal cell phone, 561-523-4325.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the Sunshine State after all, and our skin bears the brunt of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor to take care of this for you than Dr. Jose Mendez. Dr. Mendez is a board-certified dermatologist, and when it comes to caring for your skin and making sure that it is healthy as possible and skin cancer-free, you want Dr. Mendez as your personal dermatologist. Dr. Mendez is caring and very knowledgeable. Your annual skin cancer exam is covered by Medicare. Dr. Mendez also takes most other insurances. Steve KANE recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined him from head to toe, took off a few things, and now Steve is good to go. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681. When you call, make sure to ask for Sarah.
I think I've been married,
of Steve
I
KANE
don't know if it's 23 years, I think 23 years.
fast. Early
I keep
detection of
losing
skin
track.
cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at
I can never remember if I got married in 96 or 97, so I think it's been 24 years. This year it'll be 24.
7681. This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE 1. And now, here's...
All right. Yes. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. Hour number 2 has begun. We're talking about impeachment, Warren setting up Bernie Sanders, a whole bunch more, and also dating in the last hour. You know, I used to date before I was married. I know all this stuff. You know, one time at the station I started at with Steve, the old WFTL, there was a show on the weekends. It was a dating show called Dateless and Desperate. And back in my single days, you know, when I would go out with people, you know, I didn't tell them I worked on the radio until till we had a few dates, because, because they could call the radio station and get on the air and all of these things. And I was filling in one night for the dating show. Anybody remember Dateless and Desperate? And this was before the internet. That's how long. There was no internet. Okay, so it was a little more difficult for people to get dates. And people, men and women, would call in to Dateless and Desperate looking to meet other singles, and they would get set up through this show. And I was filling in one night. It was on a Saturday night, and this girl called up that I had gone out with, and she didn't know it was me, which really tells you about my dating life, because I'd not gone out with her all day. She didn't know it was me, and I heard her voice and saw the name, and I knew exactly who she was, and I was terrified through all of that call. But this thing about women not taking the husband's last name, why that is an issue, is because marriage is about a partnership, and if a woman doesn't take her husband's name, there's not really a full partnership there. So that's one of the main reasons I'm highly suspect of that. Anyway, we'll get back on the issues. 1-888-GO-KANE 1. Richie the bus, they're impeaching our president, and we're trying to get Jeff in Louisiana a girlfriend. Richie the bus driver, you're on the radio.
I'm listening to all this, and I have to say something to you. And I hope Steve is listening. And this isn't a knock on you. And it's not really an attack. But for all those people who have listened for years and know that Brian, and this is for Steve, mainly, I hope he's listening, that Brian will sit there in that chair of his over in the studio and say, I don't gamble. I don't gamble. I just don't gamble. And then they sit there and say that you meet somebody and in 6 weeks you get married is insane. And I got to tell you, it worked out because you got a beautiful wife. But that was the biggest gamble. I wouldn't even gamble like that. And Steve wouldn't gamble.
That was crazy. You know, when my wife was a listener, and Steve actually set us up. There was a personal appearance that the station had that I didn't go to, and she came there to meet me, and I wasn't there. And she gave Steve her phone number, my wife, and I called her up. We went out. 6 weeks later, we were married.
Yeah, but that was the biggest gamble. You have to admit that that's even more than putting money in a slot machine or money on a blackjack table. That's your life, my friend, and you did it in 6 weeks.
Yeah, and a lot of times what I do with my wife, like sometimes something will happen at home, and she's like, you know, well, I didn't know you did that, and I said, well, that's what happens when you marry someone after 6 weeks. You know, I use that as a. We were young, you know. It wasn't young. It wasn't I mean, you know, if my daughter did it, I would have a meltdown.
Oh, 6 weeks. I don't care how much.
You know, we got married and we kind of eloped. We didn't have like a big formal wedding. And a month after we got married, we had a wedding reception at my father-in-law's house. And my father-in-law got up and he says, well, Kathy came home and said one day, I'm marrying Brian. And I said, who's Brian? Because that better. It's true. He wasn't joking. He was serious. But anyway, they're impeaching our president. Yeah,
this is the greatest thing that could ever happen. This is, and I hope the Republican Party, the senators, and their lawyers take full advantage of this. Because I watched that funeral procession from one side of the House of Congress to the other yesterday with those losers. And I saw the pens given out, by the way, by Nancy Pelosi with a big smile on her face as she was signing the papers with her name on the pens.
Yeah.
Pens. And I was so happy. And I know that she fist pumped when somebody yelled out impeach, and she fist pumped.
Oh, I didn't see that. I missed that part. Really?
Wasn't at the ceremony.
Oh.
No, that was, and actually when she gave her speech on the floor of Congress. Let me tell you something. The Republicans have an opportunity at this time to bury this party once and for all, to really bury the total party. I hope they take advantage of it. And it's not just the votes. It's exposing how hypocritical and biased that whole situation was in the House.
Yeah.
Because that was a kangaroo court. They have to be exposed. I don't care about witnesses. This is a big farce. It's a stain on this country.
Well, hey Richie, do you think that Mitch McConnell has caved and they're going to have witnesses? Because if they have witnesses, they're saying that the Democrats get to call the same number of witnesses as the Republicans. And I heard one of the Republican senators on Fox early this morning, and he said that we are going to be fair to both sides. No one will be able to say we were unfair, and that really got me worried.
The fact is that they have to present their case, and then the Republican Party can rebut their case.
Yeah, but Nancy Pelosi said she's put together a team of patriots led by Adam Schiff.
Adam Schiff.
Yeah.
Liar, and he should be a witness himself because his conniving liar. I mean, this is really a joke. They can be buried at this time. I think the Republicans are going to bury him.
Schiff had a real. Did you see the thing from Jeopardy? Oh my goodness! This is Adam Schiff had a blow to his ego like no one could. I think most people will agree that Jeopardy contestants are some of the most well-informed people in our society, right? I'm not saying educated. I'm saying informed because, when people go on Jeopardy, they study everything, current events, history, art, everything. Yeah, I mean, they are the Jeopardy contestants are the most informed people in America. And they had a Jeopardy question yesterday. They put up a picture of Adam Schiff. They put up a picture of Adam Schiff, and this is what happened.
U.S. Representatives for 12.
1/53rd of California's House delegation is this Intelligence Committee chairman. His name is Adam Schiff.
That was last night. None of the contestants recognized him when his picture was put up on the screen. They had his photograph. It wasn't just without the name. They put the photograph up on the screen, and 3 of the most informed people in the United States didn't recognize him. Oh my good! You think Schiff is happy with that?
No, he's not. And let me tell you, Brian, and this is for Alda John. Did he call you? Because I slept through the first part of your show.
Oh, I appreciate that. You slept through the first part. I appreciate that.
I woke up a little late. Did I?
You didn't hear my interview with Giuliani? Oh my goodness! You got to get. It'll be on at midnight.
Okay. Listen. I got to tell you something straight up. Okay. Bernie Sanders.
Now I've got him up at midnight.
To when they asked Bernie Sanders at the whatever they call that I fell asleep. They asked him why would they vote for a socialist, and he started giving away the world. You can't pay for what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
It's so outrageously dishonest, and Alda John is such a schmo. He can't even distinguish. Why would Alda John? You got to ask him. Why would you support a man who can't deliver on any of the things that he wants to deliver on? And what he wants to deliver on is turning the United States into this.
Well, the reason it is because you're retired, right? Al's retired too. He's been retired his entire adult life. And Bernie and these Democratic socialists promise him a lifetime. It's like he's a lottery winner. Now, he has a different lifestyle than you have or I have. He has much lower standards. But he's retired and he wants to maintain his retirement. And Bernie and these guys promise him that his retirement will be secure. He'll never have to work as long as he votes for them. That's why.
But Medicare for all and the Green New Deal, the combination of the two. They were knocking OAC because the Green New Deal would be so outrageously expensive it would bury the country.
Yeah.
Bernie wants to double down and give away the health care and free college.
Yeah.
All of these things. You gotta laugh.
There's a poll out today. There's a poll out today with the millennials. 62% of them would give up their vote. 62% of millennials would give up their vote to have their college debt wiped out. That's, yeah.
Not just the debt. He wants to give free college.
Free college. Yeah, so college will mean nothing. Let me tell you something. If
it's coming up.
There is so much put into a college. There's too much put into a college education, okay? If the North Koreans had that EMP attack and all technology was wiped out, it would not be the college educated that would survive. It'd be the blue collar workers that would be surviving, and the Renaissance Festival people. But people, that's the way it is, because college. Mm-hmm.
Pilot for Delta Airlines, okay? You met him. You met him on the cruise.
Yeah.
He's a captain for Delta. He's got 2 sons. One of them is in the University of Florida, and boy, did he has raised him to be a Trump lover and a conservative. And there's no professor that's going to be able to poison his mind. And that's what colleges do to these kids today. They poison their mind.
Yeah.
They want free speech. They out there protesting. Conservative on campus.
They're indoctrination centers. They're liberal indoctrination centers is what they are. Well, the thing about a college education, okay, is, I went to college as an adult while I worked on the radio. And I even had my daughter, and it took me a long time to get through college because I was working. I have my wife, I have my daughter, and it took me a long time to get through college. And I paid for it. And there were times where I would miss a semester because it was too expensive, or I would take 1 or 2 classes. It took me a long time, and what has happened now with this millennial generation, they go to college and they take student loans out and they spend 4 years hanging out, having sex, smoking weed. And some of them actually, they take 6 years to get through, living in the dorms. They rack up all this debt to pay for their room and board, their meals, their courses, their books, and then they have tens of thousands of dollars in debt, and they have a useless college degree in women's studies or English literature or something. And they're like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize I was going to have $89,000 in debt when I spent 6 years on vacation.
For them now, because at least under President Trump, they do have a possibility of a job.
They don't want that, though. They don't want the job. They don't want the job. Don't you understand? Well, I've been talking about this for a lot. I've noticed in my neighborhood that kids don't seem to leave. There are some houses in my neighborhood that have like 6 cars in front of them because the kids are 29 years old and they're living at home still.
Real quick, Biden, okay? Biden defends all these credit card companies, okay? And these credit card companies with these 20% interest rates and 25 and 26% interest rates are the biggest loan sharks in the world. And the Democratic Party, who's supposed to be for the little guy, defends it. These credit card companies have gotten away with murder. I know people.
Yeah.
Card.
Well, all right, listen, I gotta run. Richie the bus driver, thanks for the call. My name's Brian. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
Are you looking to sell your house or buy your dream home? Then call LaBella Real Estate. LaBella Real Estate love President Trump, and like Donald Trump, LaBella Real Estate want to get you the highest dollar amount when selling your home. And when looking for a new home, LaBella Real Estate will find you the best deal. LaBella Real Estate have over 20 years of experience in real estate and mortgages, and they are very knowledgeable about the South Florida real estate market. If it's a condo, single-family home, a luxury home, LaBella Real Estate can help. Buying or selling, call LaBella Real Estate at 561-445-7023. 561-445-7023. And online, LaBellaRealEstateLLC.com.
Are you experiencing a loss of your sexual desire as well as your ability to have sex? This is Dr. Mitchell Mittez of the
Phones have been pretty
Center
busy.
for Age Management.
Steve
I am
Kane Show.
pleased to tell you about the latest breakthrough in
Steve
sexual
Kane Show.
enhancement for women. It's called the O-Shot, and it will change your life. Increased sexual desire, increased sensitivity, and increased stimulation all can be yours with a
Well, I'll do
simple, safe, and painless procedure done in our office in a matter of minutes. As an added benefit, the procedure is also effective in controlling urinary incontinence. If you are interested in better and more pleasurable sex, call my office today at 953-5490. That's area code 561-953-5490, and ask about the O-Shot.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All righty, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Valentine's Day, right around the corner, and there is no better gift for everyone on your Valentine's gift-giving list than any of the great MyPillow products. Of course, for your wives, for your girlfriends, a great, perfect gift that they will love is the MyPillow mattress. The MyPillow mattress is spectacular. And at MyPillow.com, when you order the MyPillow mattress and you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout, you can save up to $400. That's right. Also, that 2-for-1 special. Buy one MyPillow, get the second one for free. You heard Greg 2 call in. Was it yesterday Greg 2 called in or the day before? He got a MyPillow for Christmas. He loves it. And if you go to MyPillow.com, there's a lot of other great specials, too. That full-length MyPillow body pillow, it doesn't get better than that. Usually $89.99. You use the promo code KANE at checkout, just $29.99. And I just checked here during the break. There's an offer for an extra $10 off, so that MyPillow body pillow, normally $89.99. If you go to MyPillow.com, use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, you can actually get it for $19.99. It's an incredible deal. It's a full-length MyPillow. If you go to SteveKaneShow.com, I made a video at home. My wife filmed and did the editing, but you'll see me demonstrate the MyPillow body pillow. You'll see me in my home, in my garage, everything with the MyPillow body pillow. Check it out at SteveKaneShow.com. You can get it for $19.99, not $89.99. But you got to use the promo code KANE at checkout. And again, the MyPillow mattress, your wives, your girlfriends, they will love that for Valentine's Day. And up to $400 off when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. You can also order by phone if you would like, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Steve's joining us. Before we go back to the phones, let me get to some of these audio sound bites. You know, I was talking a lot in the first hour about the Elizabeth Warren setup. Elizabeth Warren, I'm telling you, is the most dangerous Democrat running because she is not just a liar. She will lie to her friend's face on television, and she's doing something with like a method actor. She's living the whole lie. Elizabeth Warren is in collusion with CNN to win the nomination. CNN has cheated now in the last 3 presidential elections. The first time was Candy Crowley, 2012, Obama debating a man that we did not know was a snake at the time, Mitt Romney. Remember that? And there was some, and hey, Candy, on page 2, section 3, it's highlighted right there. You got the answers right there. And Candy Crowley said, oh yeah, Mr. President, I forgot about our pre-show meeting that we set up. There was collusion. In 2016, CNN fired Donna Brazile because their collusion was exposed. Remember, Donna Brazile gave the debate questions in 2016 to Hillary Clinton. Now this hot mic moment. This hot mic moment is not a hot mic moment. It is a setup. Have you heard this? I want to play this. I talked about it in the first hour. Let me play it again. And it's getting a lot of play in the news, but no one's playing it right like I am. Telling you what really happened. Because the mainstream media, they're all in collusion. There was a moment that we saw yesterday that was in silence. The debate was over. Well, let me tell you, there were 2 things that happened. Let me play you the one from the debate, and then I'll play you the hidden mic. Hold on. Do I still have the debate one? I'm not sure I have the debate one. Bernie. Let me see here. Here we go. No, I don't have the one from that. When Bernie was asked if he said a woman could not be president, he said no, and then CNN says, how did you rethink when Bernie sold it? That was the first time. But then there was this moment after the debate when Bernie and Elizabeth Warren are face-to-face, and she wouldn't shake Bernie's hand. That was yesterday. Today, a hot mic caught the exchange. I'm going to play it for you in a second. This is not a hot mic moment. Elizabeth Warren knew the mic was on, and she knew the mic was recording. And the debate stage, and every debate stage, is filled with microphones, okay? There's a microphone at every podium, and sometimes they're double mic'd. Sometimes there's the mic on the podium, and sometimes they're also wearing a mic. And a thing about mics, okay, this was one mic, not multiple mics, and she was within range of 2. Her audio is very clear here. Someone at CNN not only kept the mic she had on, but was recording, okay? She goes, this is after the debate, this is the moment when she wouldn't shake Bernie's hand, and she goes up and confronts Bernie Sanders after the debate. She knows damn well the mic is on. Here it is.
You called me a liar on national TV?
What?
I think you called me a liar on national TV?
Let's not do it right now. You want to have that discussion, we'll have that discussion. You called me, you told me, all right, let's not do it now.
I don't want to get in the middle. I just want to say hi, Bernie.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Tom Steyer is on Elizabeth Warren's S list right now. That's Tom Steyer, who's starstruck and groupied out with Bernie Sanders. Elizabeth Warren does everything scripted, okay? In fact, there was a little criticism of her closing statement in the debate she was reading. She was looking down and reading. That was a scripted moment. She knew the mic was on. The audio clarity is too good, and the recording is too clear. I didn't have to alter that audio to pump up to any... You know, a lot of times I'll play audio that's on a hot mic moment, and I'll clean up the audio, take some of the background noise. I didn't do anything to that, okay? Nothing. And, you know, I've got some of the Project Veritas audio, and that's a real hot mic moment, okay, because there's a lot of background noise. This was on a stage that the debate was over. It was a room filled with people applauding, and there's a spectacular audio clip like that from a so-called hot mic moment. Tom Steyer screwed up Elizabeth Warren's full plan because she had planned a whole confrontation with him, and Tom Steyer came up and gave Bernie an out. Okay? But what makes her the most dangerous is that she's lying, and everyone knows she's lying. She's friends with Bernie Sanders. She's known him for years, and she's a co-worker of his in the Senate. They're both Democrats, sitting senators. This is someone she's known for years, is friends with, has socialized with. She has no problem not only throwing him under the bus and slandering him, but confronting him, not just on national TV like she did, but afterwards walking up to him in his face and lying to him about himself to his face. That is a real sicko, pathological liar. I'm not going to mention who, because I know Steve knows what I'll be talking about. I had somebody like that in my life once, and was lying about me to somebody. And it was a bold-faced lie. I've done a lot of things, but I didn't do what they said I did. And I confronted them about it. They were lying about me in front of me to someone, and I said, come on, you know I didn't say that. How can you look at me and say... When someone will walk up to someone like Elizabeth Warren did to Bernie Sanders and lie to them to their face like that, that makes them very dangerous. What will she do to someone that she doesn't know, doesn't have a personal connection with, isn't going to see for months and years to come? You know what I mean? They're going to have a relationship for the rest of their political careers and beyond because they're both Democratic socialists, they're both senators, et cetera, and she has no problem doing that. And I'm going to play it one more time. This is not a hot mic moment, and this was a CNN debate. So this means that CNN was working with Elizabeth Warren. This moment was planned out prior to the debate. To what happened in the debate was planned, and what happened after the debate was planned. And I'll tell you this: there have been televised debates since Nixon Kennedy in 1960. I don't recall ever in the history of televised debates ever having a hot mic moment. Ever. There have been embarrassing moments to people. What time is it? Why am I here? Who are you? You know, I mean, Stockdale, Bush looking at his watch. I'm talking about when the debate is over, right? And the mics are supposedly off or not broadcasting. There is never, to my, if you know of one, let me know. I'm not talking about it. The debate was over. The debate was over at this point. When have you ever heard a hot mic moment at any televised debate? Never has happened in the history of debates. Not after, I promise you. I've never heard of such a thing. CNN was working with Elizabeth Warren to set this up. Listen to it. Oh, let me play it again here. Hold on. There it is.
Called me a liar on national TV?
What?
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
Let's not do it right now. You want to have that discussion, we'll have that discussion. You called me, you told me. All right, let's not do it.
I don't want to get middle. I just want to say hi, Bernie.
Yeah, good.
What a clown Tom Steyer is. What a clown. He's got this moment and he just, oh, I'm a groupie. I'm surprised he didn't ask for his autograph and a selfie, Tom Steyer. How does a guy that's such a clown have so much money? I don't, what does he know that I don't? I don't know. Probably shame. He doesn't know shame because, you know, but that is not a hot mic moment. It is being described as a hot mic moment. CNN worked in collusion with Elizabeth Warren. I don't think there were too many people involved in this because too many people mean too many people know, but I'll tell you this. There has to be a senior person involved with the debate. That means a senior producer or executive, and there have to be probably two technical people.
Do you think this incident is going to generate increasing interest? In other words, is this just the beginning of what?
No, it's the beginning of the slander by Elizabeth Warren of Bernie Sanders. There would have to be at least two technical people working on this. The only other time I heard anything like this ever happen, and it was with Paul McCartney when he was with Wings. His wife that passed away, the Kodak heiress, I forgot her name. Paul McCartney's wife that died. Do you remember her name? She used to sing with Wings, and she would tour with Wings. I bet this is on YouTube somewhere. And there was a guy who worked the sound on tour who got pissed off at Paul McCartney, I guess. And he had, oh shoot, what was her name? Paul McCartney's wife. Somebody will tell me. Somebody will know. She's very well known. She had a mic, but you didn't hear it in the audience. He had recordings of her singing during Paul McCartney's concerts. And it was something like I've never heard before. And it circulated all over the place. And they... Linda McCartney. Yeah, it was Linda McCartney. Not McCarthy. Okay, you millennials out there, and that wasn't even there's no such thing as a hot mic moment with clarity when you're in a group. And on a debate stage, I don't remember how many candidates were up there, but there were mics everywhere. And it's just a coincidence that a mic with perfect, pristine clarity happened to pick these two up. What about the mics over there where Biden was at? What about the mics over where Klobuchar was at? It's only this mic, and it just happened to be at a moment when she had those words to say. It is a complete setup. This is being covered everywhere, but it's all being covered up by fake news. And the news media are very well aware because they understand mics, they understand sound quality, they understand how these things happen. Everyone, including Fox, knows this was not a hot mic moment. This was a setup. And I hope by the time the 5 comes on, that Greg Gutfeld and some others will have the guts to say the truth here, that this was not a hot mic, that CNN is working with Elizabeth Warren in her lies and slanders against Bernie Sanders, and this was a setup. And she knew beforehand that she was going to go up to him and do that, and she knew the mic was on.
Is there going to be any follow-up with
What follow-up? On what?
I mean, is Bernie going to make an issue of it outside of the regular debates?
Well, the thing about saying a woman can't be president, but Bernie is not. Bernie's a bum. He didn't. His first job full time was when he was 40, and that's when he got elected mayor. I'm not kidding. He's a bum, so he doesn't understand all of these things.
Al the John, there is hope.
That's why Al the John likes him. He sees, he bonds with him because they're both bums. And being mayor is not a full-time job unless you're like mayor of New York or LA or something, or you know what I mean? All right, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take some calls. Got some more audio sound. Nancy Pelosi screwed up yesterday, big time. She had a disaster yesterday, and I'll play that for you when we get back. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve joining us. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
I really want to get behind this thing at Wings
Well, Steve, you're here. It's 7:30. We can. Just
753-8080, 954-753-8080, and have their expert team review your homeowner's policy. I Will Advisors will review your policy at no charge. Most homeowners never review their policy, but it should be reviewed every year. You commercial property owners, same goes for your property insurance policy. So what are you waiting for? Call I Will Advisors and start saving
It's a month
money.
away.
954-753-8080,
It's like 3 weeks away.
954-753-8080.
Okay.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences, up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3
That's Mike from
custom inserts
Louisiana.
per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes.
That I was talking to.
They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin.
He's probably dead.
Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable
a lot of blind
measures
people listen
that
to
is
talk
most
radio.
effective is wearing the proper shoes.
A lot.
Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesouleauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
All right, we're back. We're about 98% on our new system here. Not 100% yet, but we're almost there.
But it's gonna ultimately be okay. The equipment.
No, I'm completely incompetent. Nothing will ever be right again. Of course, Steve.
Well, no. What I'm asking is, I didn't know if it was the equipment or you're getting used to the equipment.
It's a mix. Okay. It's a combination.
We want to talk about our little celebration we're going to have over at Wings Plus on the State of the Union night.
Yeah, which I believe is the 4th of February.
I think so. I'm not even sure that it's set definitely. They've got some flexibility there.
Yeah.
But anyway, whenever it is, we're going to be celebrating the State of the Union, welcoming Donald Trump, and watching the State of the Union together. So keep a careful eye out, because we believe it's February 4th. And get there early. You can meet Brian. Brian's got to leave a little early because he does the show early in the morning. And I will be there all night. And we're gonna have a great time.
Maybe you should maybe you should spend the night, and then you can just come on over after the show, after you leave Wings Plus for the show. Because I'll be a lot of times when I come to work, I see people the overnight people that are cleaning up leaving Wings Plus. But that it's supposed to be the 4th. But if that changes, we'll let you know. Obviously, we're not going to be there until the night of the State of the Union. Yeah.
Tremendous place to watch sporting events and political events.
Mm-hmm.
Brian over there is he's Brian too, and he is always known for his political connections and all that. It's a very political place. What did we say in the ad? The place where...
Well, President Bush, G.W. Bush, ate at Wings Plus while he was president. Believe it or not. So it's like sometimes you'll watch NBC News, and they'll be at it'll be election day, and they'll be at this little diner in New Hampshire, and then everybody that has been president, they have to stop by here at this diner since 1946 to be president. Wings Plus is the same thing to Florida. Yeah. As you're stepping on mine. Yeah, but Wings Plus is that for Florida. I mean, all of the top politicians have been there. They've dined there. They've eaten the wings. They've taken carry out on their campaign. But Wings Plus is located just about a mile west of University Drive on Sample Road here in Coral Springs. We're going to be there. Yeah, on the State of the Union. Okay, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll get to some calls. So I can't stand Nancy Pelosi, okay? And I've never liked Nancy Pelosi. But I dislike her more and more each and every day. And she's just a disgusting, despicable person. And so I was watching her yesterday, and I was taking issue with her. And I thought, well, maybe it's just me because I can't stand the lady. Can't stand the woman. So maybe my questioning of her actions and behavior, this was yesterday, are just because I don't like her. You know what I mean? Maybe I kind of have like Pelosi derangement syndrome. Which is easy to get because she's a disgusting person, especially when she says she's put together a team of patriots led by Adam Schiff, she said it. But I realized last night that it wasn't me, that she did screw up, and a lot of people take issue because CNN agreed with me about Nancy Pelosi. Now, I'm going to play this clip. This is Dana Bash. And a lot of people, including me, believe that CNN is a CIA front group. And I know that sounds crazy. When I first heard that, I thought that was nuts. And there are two people with very strong CIA connections in the senior lineup at CNN. One is Anderson Cooper. Now, Anderson Cooper, of course, his mother's Gloria Vanderbilt, and he's from the old, American money that have been running the country since before it was a country. But when he was in college, for 2 summers, he interned at the CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia. Who does that? right? I mean, it's unheard of. And before he became famous, Anderson Cooper, he was a stringer. He was a freelance telejournalist who traveled the world by himself with a camera looking for news stories to sell. Gloria Vanderbilt's son. So Anderson Cooper's CIA. Dana Bash, she used to be married to John King of CNN, but her other husband that she gets the Bash name from was a senior CIA person. So she's CIA too. And I know that sounds crazy. The things I'm telling you, look it up online, and you'll see that I'm not crazy. Unless you want to think I'm crazy, and don't look up the things I'm telling you. So anyway, Dana Bash gave some analysis about the signing ceremony of the impeachment articles by Nancy Pelosi yesterday, and she was saying the same thing that I was thinking when I was watching it. So let me play. This is Dana Bash, CNN, with her analysis of Nancy Pelosi signing the impeachment articles yesterday.
And as we were watching it, we are used to seeing signing ceremonies, handing out pens at moments of celebration, when a president is signing legislation, when even sometimes, on a rare occasion, but it has happened, when the House sends over a landmark piece of legislation. It was unusual to see that kind of ceremony and making, handing out the pens and smiling for a picture in this kind of situation where the House Speaker has bent over backwards to say publicly and privately, this is somber, this is not a time for a celebration. Understandable, this is history, and the people who are involved want to mark the moment, but I didn't expect to see that.
Yeah, I thought that was a little jarring and certainly, I think, off message, because you heard Nancy Pelosi there say, in fact, that this was a sad and tragic day, and then there she is holding up the pin and having photographs taken with
and smiling and laughing.
It's like when you go on a safari to hunting safari to Africa and you're killing elephants or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and you pose for the pictures with whatever.
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah, like Don Jr. likes to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. The way she behaved was inappropriate for this occasion, and I'm glad CNN recognized it. And it wasn't just Dana Bash and that team on CNN. There were many others on the left in the media who were pretty appalled by her behavior.
You mentioned that moment. I realize now that I did see the moment. Do you know what else I noticed in that moment? If I'm not mistaken, if you get a chance to look at the video, the pen that Nancy Pelosi used, I believe, was a red pen. Red or pink?
Oh, it has her name on it. You're talking about the writing on the pen or the ink from the pen?
I'm talking the pen itself is...
Writes in red ink.
Yes.
There were about 85 of them, maybe. I don't know.
If anybody else noticed that,
Yeah.
call in and... So I'll know I'm not
You
going crazy.
you don't have a party when you're signing impeachment articles. And I love there's this one person who, this is her third impeachment. She was working with on the Nixon impeachment. Now she's in Congress, and now she's working on this impeachment. And someone made a very good point. The entire impeachment management team the team of patriots, as Nancy calls them, each and every one of them was calling for the impeachment of President Trump before the whistleblower came forward. All right, let's take a call or two. Let's talk to Doug. Doug, you're on the radio.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. I'm glad you brought up this impeachment. I was hoping that Republicans were finally waking up and going to be behind Trump, and now I see they're only interested in putting this trial together. They should have dismissed it. Instead, they want to have their time in the media, I think, to
Well,
get their
you
name
understand
out
what's
there.
going on. Their story is they don't want to give the Democrats an opening to say they were unfair. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're trying to put on the appearance of fairness. Otherwise, they would. You're right. They just would have gone in and hit the gavel a couple of times and said, "This is over."
Well, anytime you start dealing with the Democrats, Republicans, you always lose. They're never going to be satisfied, no matter what happens. In fact, it was yesterday, I can't remember if it was Schiff or Pizza the Hut, Nadler. Was it Schiff or Nadler who said that it's not just the president that's on trial, it's also the Senate is on trial during its own trial because they're involved in a cover-up. How can they be involved in a cover-up before the event has even happened? You know, there are, you understand what is this, the pre-crime?
That's right. Minority Report.
What would you guys want to cover up? I said, we're not covering up. What we trying to do?
How the hell do you cover it up when it's on national television with a Supreme Court justice sitting there? It's in the open. Now, it may be hard to see if Jerry Nadler's in front of somebody because he's so wide, but, yeah.
What about President Trump? You know, don't these people think that look, the Democrats are totally biased, totally partisan? Shouldn't we, as far as I'm concerned, we heard all the evidence. There's only one guy who said anything, and he said it's good for Trump. Drop the damn case.
Oh, by the way, appreciate the call, Doug. There's a new let's take a break, and we'll come back. And well, I'll tell you when we get back. All right, I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Steve's here. We'll break and be back.
This is Steve Kane. When it comes to looking your best, sometimes you need a little extra help. Dr. Nathan at the Maiden Clinic is a renowned plastic surgeon here in South Florida who will bring out your most beautiful self. Dr. Nathan, highly skilled, knows how to reveal your inner beauty and make you look your absolute best. He's a board-certified plastic surgeon. People come from miles around just because of his extraordinary skills and his caring bedside manner. Dr. Nathan performs breast augmentations, facelifts, Botox, tummy tucks, liposuction, and much, much more. Visit his website. Read the testimonials from his patients. They love Dr. Nathan, and you will too. He has years of experience and impressive credentials that make Dr. Nathan the only plastic surgeon you need visit. He'll advise you and tell you the best course of action so that you will always remain true to who you are. You can contact Dr. Nathan.
Hey guys, make sure you subscribe. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe.
680-5121. That's area code 305-680-5121 or online at drnathan.com. Tell him you heard it on the Steve Kane Show.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. You know, I was over at Friendly Tire the other day, ran into a listener, which I usually run into listeners when I'm over there. And you know, Steve and I, anytime we're feeling down and in the dumps and sad, we just go to Friendly Tire.
Buy a tire at Friendly Tire.
Now, well, just go and loiter around and bump into listeners who tell us they listen every day and hang on our every word and love the show, and then we feel good again. But no, I was over at Friendly Tire the other day, and I ran into a listener, and he was over there getting a tire repaired on his daughter's car. He took his daughter's car there. And tires typically are something the men handle, right? You know, I take my daughter's car over there and things like this. But, you know, I do run into listeners all the time when I stop over at Friendly Tire, and I run into female listeners, okay? We have lady listeners, and if you are, a lot of times women, you know, they're older, husbands passed away, and they find themselves taking care of things they've never dreamed of taking care of before. Let me tell you, Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire, you ladies out there and older ladies too, they take extra good care of our female listeners. So a lot of women are afraid to get their oil changed, you know, and I understand that. You know, you've never done it before, you're suspect. Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire is an honest guy. They take very good care of you. Look what happened with Steve. Steve took his daughter's car over there, said, Mike, I need 4 new tires. Mike looked and said, no, you don't. You need 2 tires. When have you heard of a tire shop when someone comes in saying, I want 4 new tires, and they say, no, you just need 2? That's Friendly Mike. So ladies out there, never bought tires before, you're a little nervous about it, go to Friendly Tire. Okay, I want to say about this liberal show that is on television I saw a little bit of last night. I got to tell you something here. You know, television, they keep making programming, not for Trump's America, but for Hillary's America. There is a reboot of a 1990s show called Party of Five. And they've rebooted it and updated the storyline for the new century. In the original Party of Five, which was, I think it was a Fox show back in the 90s. I used to watch the show. Nev Campbell from Scream. This was what launched her to be famous. It was about 5 siblings, right? Two brothers who were a little older. One was 20-something. One was in high school. A high school daughter. They had a young sister who was like 8, and there was a newborn baby about 6 months old. Parents were killed in a car accident, and they were left alone. The family owned a this is the 1990s version, and it was about these 5 siblings. The oldest one was about 25. The next oldest was in high school, and all the way down to a 6-month baby. They had to keep together and keep the family restaurant going. The parents had been killed by a drunk driver. And it was a very big show. It was a hit show in the 90s. They've rebooted it, and they've updated it. I can't make this stuff up. I'm good, but I'm not that good. I'm not like Elizabeth Warren. You just, can make things up all the time. They've come up with a updated... Now, that original story, it sounded drunk driver, boom, You'd think if they were updating it, they would make, the parents got killed by someone who was texting and driving, because that's the big thing now, not drinking and driving, right?
Or on drugs.
Yeah, well,
Drugs and drugs.
that's not it. And the new Party of Five, the parents, mother and father, they're in the beginning of the show. They're running the family restaurant. They're having a great dinner. The mother and father are there with the 6-month-old baby. They're having dinner. They're talking about the future. They've got their 9-year-old daughter. It's a restaurant in Los Angeles. He gets a phone call. Father gets a phone call. He's like, all right. And he goes back in the kitchen. All right, everybody, leave. It's the Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent. An ICE agent comes into the restaurant. And the father goes up to the... I just saw this last night. I knew what the show was about, but I watched it so I could talk about it. The father goes up to the ICE agents and says, you're not going to find any undocumented people in my kitchen. He says, I'm not here for them. I'm here for you and your wife. And he says, what are you talking about? He's like, do you have documents? He says, you've been here many times. You've never asked for us before. You're always looking at the... Things have changed. Do you and they don't have papers. The ICE agents deported these 2 illegal parents who somehow, even though they're undocumented, own an upscale restaurant in the greater Los Angeles area. And they handcuffed the illegal mother while she was holding her 6-month-old baby in front of her 9-year-old daughter. And the 9-year-old daughter is holding the baby. They're both crying. INS, take the parents out, deport them. Flash forward, next scene, 6 months later, here they are all alone, the dreamers who were here due to no fault of their own, whose parents have been deported. I stopped watching because I was going to throw up. And, that show would play very well in Hillary's America. Yeah, it is an outrageous show. It's called Party of Five. It's on Freeform. If you want to check it out, free. They
Has it received much attention?
Well, they just had the first episode this week. So I watched it on Hulu last night. It's been no one's talking. It's just a disgusting show. I mean, and the ICE agent you would think it was the Gestapo who came in, and handcuffing the woman while she's holding the baby. That was the best. I've never seen such a... That's how ICE agents are, They're just a bunch of nasty bastards, But, it's called Party of Five. It's updated. That's the new thing, and it's no MAGA. I'm sure there'll be some MAGA hat-wearing people during Sweeps Week. Then, of course, there'll be white supremacists who will probably try to do something.
Is this going to blow up into a big political
Well,
scandal?
I'm blowing it up now, and because I'm bringing attention to it. I'm ahead of the game on things, Steve, as I usually am. But, check it out. I tell you, it's so amazing when they update. Most of television today are reboots of hits from yesteryear because they got a bunch of millennial writers in Hollywood who have no life. Yeah, they have no talent, no life experience, and you can only do television shows on so many non-binary leading characters, So they're rebooting all these old shows and trying to update them. And that one is a big fan. I've known about this show for a long time. I was waiting to see the first episode, and it was worse than I thought.
Than you'd hope for.
Yeah, it was worse than I'd hoped for. That's right. Well, anyway, that's the way it is. We're coming up on the top of the hour. We got one more hour to go. Lots going on there. To quote a Democrat who somehow is not in Congress, Robert Wexler, in 1998, they're impeaching our president. The trial starts Tuesday. And I agree. We had a call in the first hour. I agree with him. The reason that Nancy Pelosi held off on doing this is she was working with Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan to wrangle enough senators' votes on their side to get witnesses. And there are Republicans there who want to remove this president just as much as Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff do, okay? So make no mistake about it. A lot of them, including Mitch McConnell, there are a lot of Mitch McConnell hates Trump. He hates Trump like the... Now, a lot of they pretend to love him and support him, but don't trust them. This is the Republican establishment, and if they can get the right witness... what happened on Rachel Maddow's show last night with this guest she had on that is an associate of Giuliani who said that Trump knew when he removed the ambassador because he wanted the Biden investigated. They think that when this trial... see, the impeachment hearings were low rated. The trial of the president, they think, will be highly rated. So they have a fantasy that they're going to bring witnesses forward, and since it's going to be so highly rated and so much higher profile than the House hearings, that the American people are finally going to wake up and turn on Trump. We just need to hear the witnesses. They're telling themselves that there were not enough people following the impeachment hearings to turn against Trump, but this will do it. And they have plans to bring witnesses to turn you against the president. They got to remember, they're consumed with hate. They're not seeing things clearly. Hate is like it's like being intoxicated. You don't see the world clearly. They're not dealing with a full deck here, and Mitt Romney's behind it.
But you tell me that what's his name?
I don't know who you're talking about. But McConnell?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, McConnell hates Trump.
Well, but if McConnell, you tell me, wants to go down as in history as the senator who sunk the...
They would, if they get the right witness where they'll have no choice but to reluctantly do it. Yesterday, let me tell you, there was no...
That would be held against McConnell. That would be held forever against McConnell by the Trump people.
They have a fantasy that there will be a witness that will have the bombshell that will finally wake America up to turn against Trump. They believe that will happen, and that's their plan. That's why they're fighting so hard for witnesses. Listen, hour number 2 is done. We got 1 hour to go. I'm Brian. Steve here. Of course, this is the Steve Kane Show. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll free call. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Network is 95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470 WWNN Pompano Beach.
Yeah, he wants them out.
If you suffer from excruciating back pain or sciatica, pay careful attention to what I'm about to tell you. According to a study in the medical journal Spine, back surgeries to alleviate back pain frequently backfire, leaving the patient in more pain than before they had the surgery. A second study from the University of Cincinnati
Hey guys, make sure you subscribe.
Provides clear evidence that 74% of surgeries for back pain fail. But there is an end to your suffering. There's a solution to your problem waiting for you with Dr. Troy Lemaski. Dr. Troy Lemaski is my personal chiropractor, and if the name sounds familiar, it should. He's the brother of Dr. Janae Lemaski. Dr. Troy specializes in the elimination
This is the first spot. You can do it when we get back. I got to do a couple more spots.
Quickly, easily, and without surgery or pain medication. While he can help you with your back and neck pain, Dr. Troy also provides treatment for the hips, the shoulders, the knees. If you've been in a car accident, any type of injury, or slip and fall, the pain won't go away, well, if you want to get back to your old self, you want to call Dr. Troy. His number 954-463-3036. That's 954-463-3036. Online at drtroylemaski.com. Tell him that Steve Kane sent you.
Are you experiencing a loss of your sexual desire as well as your ability to have sex, period? This is Dr. Mitchell Mittez of the Boca Raton Center for Age Management. I am pleased to tell you about the latest breakthrough in sexual enhancement for women. It's called the O-Shot, and it will change your life. Increase sexual desire, increase sensitivity, and increase stimulation all can be yours with a simple, safe, and painless procedure done in our office in a matter of minutes. As an added benefit, the procedure is also effective in controlling urinary incontinence. If you are interested in better and more pleasurable sex, call my office today at 953-5490. That's area code 561-953-5490, and ask about the O-Shot.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running
Oh, my
radio
goodness.
show, The Steve Kane Show.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I just saw a story in the Drudge. You want to talk about fake news?
Yes.
Okay. This is on the Drudge Report. Outrage at world's first trans kid doll with a penis and a dress. And there's a picture here on the Drudge Report. It's a doll with
You gotta be kidding me.
girly. It looks like
Is it sold at adult stores?
I don't know where it's sold. It's sold at toy stores.
Toys R Us.
Well, there aren't. Toys R Us, I think, went out of business, so I don't know. You know, they should sell it at Toys R Us. That way, nobody would be able to buy it. But no, it's a new trans kids doll. Okay, fake news here, and I'll tell you why. People get all outraged. Kids don't play with dolls anymore. They play with, it's amazing to me. I'll see kids in baby strollers, and they'll have a damn iPad, you know? And I was, you guys know I go to Walt Disney World all the time. I was at Walt Disney World. Get this, you won't believe that. I'm not making this up. And everything I tell you is the truth, as bizarre as these things sound. I was at Walt Disney World, and there was a family. They had a baby in front of them. It was like 1.5 years old. It had electronic gear, and they were in line with me, and the battery was getting low. The dad reached in his backpack and pulled out a solar panel, put it on top of the stroller, and plugged the solar panel into the kid's game that he had there. I couldn't believe I never saw anything like this. I didn't know they had solar panels that work so well. Kids don't play with dolls. So what happens a lot of times is toy companies come up with things like this to get people talking about dolls again. They used to do this back in the 90s with Barbie. Barbie used to be very popular, and in the 90s tanked. So they came out with a pregnant Barbie where you could remove the baby. Remember this? And it was very controversial because inside a woman's womb is not a baby. You know, I guess liberals wanted like some kind of slime inside Barbie. You know what I mean? So
An eraser tip from a pencil.
yeah, so when you see these stories, magazines do this a lot. No one buys magazines anymore. So a magazine will come out with some controversial cover, a guy in a dress or something like this to try to get people to buy the magazine. So, don't get upset by the trans doll with a dress and a penis and girly hair. It's just a scheme by the toy company to try to get millennial parents that are all into all this new age, non-binary world to go out and buy dolls.
With penises?
Well, maybe they'll buy the regular dolls too, but they're trying to get. It's the doll makers are trying to get people talking about dolls, so they'll buy them for their kids instead of game systems.
Don't forget, they do have those
Dolls
dolls.
like Liberal Al has.
Steve Kane show.
What is it? It's
Hold on. You talking about the blow-up dolls?
Yeah, the ones you sleep with.
Yeah, right. Well, they have these new sex robots that are pretty realistic. They're doing away with the blow-up, like the things they used to sell. Like, anyway, let's go to the phones. We're digressing here, but don't get upset. There is no outrage over the doll with a dress and a penis. It's fake outrage by fake media, put out by the toy company lobby. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the radio.
Hi, Craig. I agree with you. Party of 5. I turned it off. but I called to tell you it's Ed Pasquale's birthday.
Oh,
Oh.
you're kidding.
Well, he's going to be here next Friday.
We gotta sing happy birthday to you.
Yeah. Well, he'll be here a week from Friday.
Thank you for sharing that with us
Yeah.
in the audience.
Yeah. Okay.
That's one of our favorite people.
Oh, you were? What's your name? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Yeah, this nice listener here, she missed the ship in Fort Lauderdale, and she booked a flight and met us in the Cayman Islands. That's right. That's right. And we stayed up late one night in the buffet together. I remember you. That's right. That's right. I will, my daughter. That's absolutely right. Well, thanks a lot. All right. Well, it was good to see you. Thanks for flying into the Cayman Islands. I hang out. You hang out in front. Okay. Oh, okay. That's great. How did you know it's Ed Pasquale's birthday? Oh, you know Ed. Okay. All right. All right. Well, thanks so much.
All right, next time, you don't miss the boat.
Yeah, exactly.
All right?
I know.
I know. Well, we're so glad you made it in the end. That's what counts.
All right. Take care. All right. Greg, too. Good morning. Yeah, I was amazed. I was walking through, I was on the 7 Mile beach in Grand Cayman Island, and I bumped into Ian, our travel agent. He's like, "You're not going to believe this." I said, "Why?" He said, one of your listeners missed the ship in Fort Lauderdale. I said, "Oh, that's terrible. I can't believe it." He says, "No, don't worry. She flew into Grand Cayman. She's here. She's on the ship waiting for you guys." I said, "You've got to be kidding me. That's a dedicated listener."
I've heard of missing planes. I missed flights, you know. I've never heard of missing a ship.
Yeah, it's tough to miss a ship, but she did. Anyway.
Listen, as far as Nancy Pelosi goes, if you read a Washington Post article, it was scathing. It ripped her. It said it was bizarre and weird ceremony plus walk.
Wait, was that you said the Washington? Wait, hold on, slow down. You're going too fast. The Washington the Washington Post. The paper of Woodward and Bernstein, the paper of Watergate, the liberal paper of Record. Okay, what did they say about Pelosi yesterday?
I was pulled up. I said they said it was a bizarre and weird ceremony, and that it was like pomp and circumstance, and it was like a celebratory matter.
Yeah.
Ripped her. I was shocked. I read it, and like you said, it's the liberal.
The liberals are turning. Well, I'll tell you this. This to me, Greg. This is an interesting thing because I didn't know about the Washington Post. And let me tell you, the Washington Post is proudly liberal. The Washington Post and CNN have both ripped Nancy Pelosi for her behavior yesterday. Do you think they'd be ripping her if they thought the impeachment was going to favor the Democrats, or do they see the writing on the wall and are trying to maintain their distance from the House Madam?
You just actually made my next point. I was going to say, Nancy Pelosi just handled Donald Trump, his victory. The American people are going to look at this and say, these people are out of control.
Well, see, they forget Bill Clinton in 1998. Oh, he's suborn perjury. Bill Clinton was being accused of rape. He was being accused of physical assault, and I remember.
Was that one of the impeachment charges?
No, but he was being accused of a lot of crimes, and he was doing them, and people forget. And if there's children in the audience, please, guys, turn down your radio and everything, because I want to say we're going to talk about President Clinton, and it's difficult when children are listening. He was masturbating in the sink of the Oval Office, Bill Clinton. And all of this was in the Star Report. And
Dr. Lemansky was taking Alon, her son, to school.
I gave her the warning. You got to be quick. I can't. And he was inserting his cigars inside the vagina of Monica Lewinsky and then smoking. This was all in the Star Report. So Bill Clinton was doing some very scummy things. On top of rape allegations, assaulting women. He beat up Paula Jones. And, and he's groping widows in the Oval Office, Kathleen Willey, and all of these things. Donald Trump is a squeaky clean Marine. Okay, and he never grabbed any woman by her pee that didn't want him to. He said women in Hollywood are such skanks that if you're famous, you can do anything. You could even grab them by the pee if you wanted to. They'll let you. He didn't say that he does it or he didn't do it, you know. He was talking about how loose the women are out there. So it's a whole nother era than 1998. People forget what Bill Clinton was doing back then.
I know. And Bill Clinton, think about this. Monica Lewinsky's parents are at like dinners with their friends bragging how she's an intern. Meanwhile, she's being sexually abused.
You know, we had a woman, this was a very old lady, so I'm sure she's dead and buried somewhere now. But during the impeachment of Bill Clinton, we had a listener called in, and she was a big supporter of Bill Clinton during the Lewinsky affair, so we invited her into the studio. And she came in the studio, and she had a button with a photograph of her granddaughter, who was about 21 years old, wearing it on her shirt. And she said on the air that she would be proud of her granddaughter if she was giving BJs to President Clinton, like Monica Lewinsky was. Could you believe? That's how the left were with Bill Clinton. That was typical. That wasn't unusual. But I bring this up for a reason, because you made a prediction back in '98, Steve, about the defenders of Bill Clinton that I thought was nuts. And here we are 22 years later, and you were proven right. So I'm going to, it's been so long you've probably forgotten. So I could have taken, no, don't close yet till I finish telling Steve what he was right about 22 years ago. With Pelosi and this impeachment team that are all high and mighty, and these people on MSNBC and these groups that are attacking our president, the most prominent feminist organization in the history of this country was put out of business for their defense of Bill Clinton, the National Organization for Women, NOW. And now the National Organization for Women, and this should come up in people's minds because Nancy's pushing the ERA amendment again, right? And NOW was behind that. They were the most prominent female rights organization in America, and you couldn't turn on the television before the year 2000 without seeing them commenting on every issue facing America. And they defended Bill Clinton. Steve said at the time, the National Organization for Women is going to lose all their credibility and be out of business because of their defense of this Bill Clinton and his sexcapades. And when's the last time you've seen anyone from the National Organization for Women on television talking? It's been 22 years. The closest is Tammy Bruce on Fox, and she's no longer with them. She's woken up and left them 25 years ago. And what you're going to find with people on this impeachment team, Adam Schiff and the others, they're going to go the way of the National Organization for Women for doing this. They're going to be people that are forgotten and unheard of.
Well, this is going to backfire in big time.
They're destroying their own careers.
Because they are just imploding right now. You know, that celebration yesterday, I watched several videos, was terrible. It was like, oh, we're impeaching, they're marching the articles over there.
It was like the coronation of a queen or something, when they were carrying the papers from from the House to the Senate or whatever it was. It was like a funeral service.
Yeah. All right, Greg, is that it? You got anything else? Yeah. All right, take care. All right, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Dr. Lomansky.
Oh, hey, Dr. Lomansky.
Dr. Lomansky, speak of the devil. Did you get the radio down in time? Oh, I was going to...
He knows exactly when to bleep it out.
Well, what do you think of all this?
Wow, there's a lot going on. Yeah, I just wanted to say, so many of us are shocked how people have a totally different perception of what's going on in this presidency. People don't want to give any credit to anything that good has been going on. Right. And it's because, psychologically people are equipped with defense mechanisms, and this has brought out defense mechanisms for people that they didn't even know they probably have. There's, people are in denial and people avoid, and it helps because it reduces their anxiety. So they have to use these defense mechanisms. Otherwise, they'd be walking around with panic attacks all the time. So psychologically speaking, they have to be this way. Otherwise, they would be even more out of control than you see them. I see more people on medication and more people consumed with with this. And like you say, it's unfortunate that people can't see any positivity of what is going on in our country now. It's a much stronger country, a much stronger economy.
Hey, Barry, it's Brian. Hold on.
I hear
Are you there?
from so many people every day how horrible it's been and terrible. But when I ask them, I want to hear it. I want you to release it. Tell me what's been going on. Give me the facts. Tell me what you feel went wrong. I never get an answer. Ever get an answer. It's just I hate this. This is a piece of whatever. And this.
I'm glad you called in today because this is Dr. Lemaski, who's a psychologist. Right. She's my therapist, Steve's therapist,
and whose brother is my chiropractor. Who
that's right.
Me. I'm having all these problems with my legs and my knees, but thank heavens I've got the best chiropractor in South Florida.
Yeah, now if we could only find a doctor of directions to get Steve to all these places, we'll be set. We'll be set. But this is what I'm wondering because now Elizabeth Warren, who's been lying her whole life about her ethnicity, has been telling this lie about Bernie Sanders. She said that Bernie Sanders told her on a phone call that a woman cannot be president, and everybody knows Bernie Sanders didn't say that. And after the debate, she confronted Bernie Sanders. Let me play this clip because I want to ask you a question about somebody who would do this. This is after the debate, and this is supposedly a hot mic moment. Here's Elizabeth Warren going up to Bernie.
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
What?
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
Let's not do it right now. You want to have that discussion, we'll have that discussion. You called me, you told me. All right, let's not do it right now.
I don't want to get in the middle of it. I just want to say hi, Bernie.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Tom Steyer screwed everything up with an idiot. But she went up to Bernie Sanders and continued the lie in a planned moment set up with CNN and all that. What's the psychology of someone like Elizabeth Warren who is lying not just on national TV about someone who's a friend for years, a colleague, and then afterwards she tells the lie on TV. After the show is over, she walks up to his face and continues the lie. What's the psychology behind Elizabeth Warren there?
Well, it's not just psychology, it's psychopathology. I mean, this is where you call, compulsive liar. She's doing these things, for her benefit because, she's playing a game.
Well, is somebody like that sick? Is that a sickness? Is this pathological lying? What is it?
Okay, so, psychopathology is on a continuum, but when you talk about people that are doing extreme things like Elizabeth Warren, even Bernie Sanders, you're talking about significant personality disorders, and from diagnostic manual, it's an access to. These are personality disorders. These are patterns of behavior that people are distorting reality for their own benefit.
Does Elizabeth Warren, would you say that she believes, does she believe she's an Indian? Does she believe Bernie Sanders told her a woman could not be president?
Nuts, in other words.
Or is she consciously lying, would you say?
That I'm not too sure about.
Yeah.
Consciously doing it, and it could be both. It could be that she compartmentalizes and she destroys so often that she eventually.
Well, what I wonder, this confrontation with Bernie after the debate was over and this set up CNN event to have a mic perfectly there with perfect audio recording and all. To me, it seems kind of like a behavior that I see in serial killers where there's just no caring about other people. It's all about her. It's all about the individual. It's really psychotic.
Well, just so you know, there's a cluster personality disorder. It's cluster B, and in cluster B, there's a borderline personality disorder, a narcissistic personality disorder, a histrionic personality disorder, and an antisocial personality disorder. If you read those 4 disorders, you can definitely find Elizabeth Warren. You can probably find Bernie Sanders if Elizabeth Warren really showed her true.
Wow.
Are you? Do you think the public, or at least those people that are obsessed with hating Trump, are they going to survive this when he sweeps in with this humongous victory that we all anticipate?
I do. I think we're just going to unfortunately see more of what we've been seeing since he's been in office. And I just think until they run out of steam, if that's ever possible. And how much he's wanted to do for this country. But you know what? If they don't want to, it's their life. They're more stressed. They're more angry. They're more sad. It doesn't make sense, but some people choose a life like that.
Well, you must be treating a lot of those people, a lot of depression walking around up there in your end of town, I guess, with...
It's actually depression and anger. There's so much anger and so much hate, and that's That's what's really unfortunate. I can deal with the depression, but there's way too much hate and anger.
Well,
People
depression
don't-
isn't depression anger turned inward?
Correct.
Yeah. Well,
No.
keep.
Interesting.
And my therapist is the best in the world, boy. I hate to think what life would be like.
Steve has been in therapy longer than you've been in practice, Dr. Lemaski, and most other psychologists. Oh, yeah.
See you at my appointment next week.
Oh, boy.
You take care.
Oh, look, Steve, on the line we have attorney Barry Siegel. We're less than 2 weeks away from the Barry Siegel workshops. Hey, Barry.
Barry, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Steve and Brian?
I'm getting all set for that workshop coming up. Listening to all those things they should be doing. Actually, I have done most of those things. All those things you talk about at the workshop are things you have worked out for me in the course of, helping me prepare my estate and make sure that everything goes where it belongs.
Absolutely, and Steve, it's all about being prepared. And things are going to happen either to us or someone close to us, and we need to be prepared.
What?
Actually, today, just 1 year ago today, I had a major healthcare scare, and thankfully everything's okay. But at the time, it looked like it could have been something serious. And then I just heard horrible news yesterday. A young man I know, his girlfriend, very young, in her early 30s, passed away. And it just reminds you how, how grateful we need to be for what we have, our health and our lives and everything, but also how we need to be prepared. And that's really what we're going to be covering at these workshops. Not this coming Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, January 28th. That's a Tuesday in the morning at 10 a.m. It will be on Medicaid qualification. It's really about how to prepare to make sure that you have a way to pay for care, the very expensive care that you or your spouse or your family member may need if they happen to become ill. And if you don't have long-term care insurance, you have two options left: spend down your assets so you're potentially sick, or learn how you can get on government benefits like Medicaid. And the big danger is don't eliminate yourself in your head when you don't know all the facts. Come in, learn all the facts, and you may be very, very surprised that you and your loved ones can qualify. And then in the afternoon at 2 p.m., we're going to cover everything you need to do to protect you and your loved ones, make sure you have all your legal documents in place, your living trust, your wills, your health care documents, your powers of attorney, what needs to be in there, what your current documents probably don't have, but you need to have them in there. We're going to cover a lot of stuff, and you'll get a lot of education, and the price is right.
Well, still openings available. I'm going to give out your office number, and if they want to call in and reserve themselves a spot, give them the information on the date of the seminar.
Yeah, well, these are both free seminars, and they're going to be on Tuesday, January 28th. They're going to be at the Courtyard by Marriott on Glades Road, just off of 95, just west of I-95. And we're expecting a very good turnout. So if you're interested, you're going to want to call our office and schedule as soon as you can. Our number at the office is 855 FLA 3782. I believe you can also go on our website at www.siegellawgroup, that's SIEGEL lawgroup.com, and there's also a way to register for the workshops there as well.
Barry, look forward to seeing you there, and keep up the good work, all right?
All right, take care. You know, Rachel Maddow, in a desperate bid to regain credibility with her sycophants that have abandoned her show since the Mueller report, she had on this guy trashing Trump and Giuliani and accusing him, and he's the new, liberal flavor of the day to slander Trump. This is one of the two guys that were connected with Giuliani that got indicted a couple of months back. So, you got a guy who's facing criminal charges. He's going to say whatever he thinks he can say to try to save himself in the future. You can't trust this guy. They got him all over the place, trashing Giuliani and trashing Trump. The guy's indicted. And by the way, he's really a political persecution, because if he wasn't connected to Trump, he wouldn't be indicted. You know. Yeah, you want to take some more calls?
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't know who's who. I've lost track. So these are all random calls that are totally screenless. We'll find out on the air who these people are. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Morning, Steve Royal.
Hey, Steve.
A couple of things. I
Steve
went
Kane
to my
Show.
financial advisor for year-end, and my 401ks and IRAs, they're in not really aggressive stocks and bonds. I'm up 27% year over year so far, and in the non-aggressive accounts. Now, what that means is this: as long as Trump is our president, anybody out there who has pensions, IRAs, 401ks, stocks, those things that keep going up.
Yeah, well, here's the problem. Now, slow down there. Well, all these things are true. That's not where Pelosi and Mitch McConnell and Mitt Romney have their money. They have their money in China. I mean, do you really think? And oh, by the way, Nancy Pelosi has a lot of money in all those phony green companies that are cut off because of Trump. You know, do you really think Mitch McConnell is happy with the new China trade deal that Trump signed, Steve and Royal Palm?
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
He's so in bed with the Chinese. He's literally in bed with the Chinese. His wife, who's the Secretary of Transportation, is from a very wealthy, prominent Chinese family.
He doesn't have to worry.
Yeah, and it comes from China.
Yeah.
It comes from China. His father-in-law in China gave him $15 million, according to Peter Schweitzer. You know, he's not happy about that yesterday. They have a conflict of interest.
Came out and said that the day she becomes president, she's going to bypass Congress and she's going to eliminate all student debt. Now, I don't know how she's going to do it, but this is her claim. The first day she becomes president, we're talking trillions of dollars. Now, what things like that, the health care and all the other good stuff these people are promising everybody, which is made out of smoke.
Well, it's
and
all
mirrors.
pie in the sky. It's all pie
Yeah,
in the sky. Nobody takes it seriously.
You have people who do. You have
The millennials, the millennials are obsessed with it.
There are people that do, but not enough to win him the election, or any of these opposition forces.
Hey, Steve, Steve, what do you think about Elizabeth Warren there, that hot mic moment? Do you agree with me that was set up between her and CNN, that was not a true, that she knew the mic was on and recording?
Let me tell you this: if you had that good of
Steve Kane Show.
audio feedback when you guys talk on the radio.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a total setup. And how did it get picked up so perfectly on her mic that she had right close to her mouth? What, you know, if all the mics were on, if other mics were on, you would have just a room filled with noise and room noise and everything else. Yeah.
Her and Bernie's
That's right.
Bernie rolled over and gave the election, the primary to Hillary Clinton. They know this man's just going to roll. Lazy. He was throwing.
Oh, I don't think he's going to roll over this time. I think I think with what happened to him last time, they try to do this again. I don't think he's going to roll over at all. I think he's going to explode.
Nah, my feeling on him, he's just a lazy old...
He did not roll over last time. He was bought off. I was someone to call about this earlier. Barack Obama bought him off. All right? They had the convention. Obama brought him to the White House. He came out, and all of a sudden he endorsed Hillary. And then he's got a beach house. Come on. They bought him off.
Bought him off. I'm sure they've got stuff on good old Bernie that they can put him away for a long time if stuff comes up. It's like the old J. Edgar Hoover things. Let's keep finding out what we can find out on our enemies, and now we got him there.
Yeah.
Own that.
Yeah.
So that's the bottom of...
But you know, this thing with Elizabeth Warren, this story is everywhere. And I'm the only person that talked about how CNN colluded to get this great sound quality and perfect sound and you know, everyone else is calling it a hot mic moment. A hot mic is an accident. Like a couple of breaks ago, when Steve got here, we were talking off the air. I left my mic on. I forgot to turn my mic off because I was doing 3 other things. And you probably heard me talk. That's a hot mic moment. I was talking over a commercial. Okay, that's an accident. Okay, what happened with Elizabeth Warren was on purpose. That was not a hot mic moment. What, are you panicked, Steve? I didn't say anything. That was,
So after that happened, so you knew that was a setup. And the thing, the CNN and NBC and all those, they have to sell viewership. And things like this.
Hot mic? I think it's a hotter story that CNN in 3 presidential elections with this have now been busted colluding with candidates. First one was Candy Crawley with Obama in the Romney-Obama debate. Donna Brazile in the last election gave the debate questions from CNN to Hillary Clinton. And now
they hired her.
Yeah, Fox hired her.
And Fox hired her.
Yeah, CNN fired her, Fox hired her, and then now we have this debate where CNN obviously working with Elizabeth Warren in this so-called fake hot mic moment. So the last 3 presidential elections, CNN has been busted colluding to support a particular candidate.
Do you think this is going to turn into a big story? The hot mic.
Well, I don't know if they're going to. I would like to think. I know Russia's people. Snurdly, you listening? Don't credit. This is the hot story that it was not a hot mic moment. Anyone that works around microphones knows. These things. That's a hot mic moment was not that.
All right, thank you for your call.
Let's take one more. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yes, I think you got it right, Brian. What the Democrats are hoping for is that they're going to get witnesses in this impeachment proceeding that are going to destroy Trump.
Yeah, they have another fantasy. That's right.
Well, they're desperate for crying out loud. Everything else has backfired on them, and this will too.
Did you hear the thing I played earlier from Jeopardy? Did you hear this, Steve? Hold on, Cole. Let me play this real quick. I played this earlier in the show. I got to play this again. Last night on By the way, I'm a fan of Alex Trebek. I like Jeopardy. I thought he was dying, and I keep.
He's going to look. Did you read this week's Inquirer?
He beat cancer.
Yeah.
He beat cancer. Good for him. That's great.
It's this new miracle cure they have.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, good for him. I love Alex Trebek. I don't want to see him go, but he seems to have been dying from pancreatic cancer. But anyway,
if you read the
unrelated
story this week, you'll see. He's
okay.
Reprieved.
So I'm of the opinion. Hold on, caller. Don't go anywhere. I'm of the opinion that the people that are Jeopardy contestants are the most informed people in America. Because I'm not saying smartest, most informed. When people go on Jeopardy, they study. They study history. They study art. They study geography. They study current events and have a base knowledge for things. Last night, this is last night's Jeopardy. They had a video Jeopardy question, and they put up a photograph. I've got to describe it because the audio explains some of it, but there's a visual, so I got to kind of explain the visual. So there's a video Jeopardy question. They put up a photograph of Adam Schiff, who Nancy Pelosi says is a patriot, who's leading this team of patriots of House managers. So they put up a picture of Adam Schiff, and here's the Jeopardy question. Let me, where's it at here? All this build-up. Here it is. Listen.
U.S. Representatives for 12.
Okay, okay, U.S. Representatives for 12. Adam Schiff's picture is now brought up on the screen.
U.S. Representatives for 12.
1/53 of California's House delegation is this Intelligence Committee chairman. His name is Adam Schiff.
No one knew. The most informed people in America, the 3 Jeopardy contestants, none of them knew who Adam Schiff was. They didn't recognize him. So, the point of that is Adam Schiff is not as well-known, important, or as popular as
he'd like to be.
Well, or as you're led to believe because you watch the news so much. The cable news cycle is a cult following. A cult following is what they give names to movies and television shows that have a loyal but small following. You understand? X-Files, they said a cult following. Rocky Horror Picture Show, cult following, right? Star Trek, cult following. And
they're turning the new Cats movie, which was a disaster review-wise. They're turning that into a cult movie.
Yeah, a cult movie. The cast and their families, they love it. Other than that, that's it. But you know what I'm saying. So Adam Schiff, for the 3 most informed people in America, the Jeopardy contestants, to not know who the hell he is, I think is telling. All right, caller. Thanks so much. On the line, we have Janet Cimarelli from Save-A-Lot, Steve.
Janet, how are you, and how are things at Save-A-Lot?
Okay, things at Save-A-Lot are excellent. I'm seeing those Steve Kane show listeners. They come and tell me, oh, yes, you sound in person just like you sound on the show. And so things are great at Save-A-Lot. And I want to tell your listeners, okay, you were just talking about the most informed people. Well, how do you get your brain to take in all of this information? There's a brand of products called Now, and they have a formula called Phosphorine. And what is that? That is like a very concentrated lecithin, which has been used for years and years and years to support learning, memory, support your mood, support neurotransmitter function. All of that good stuff from Now phosphatidylserine, and it is from sunflower oil. So a lot of times people don't necessarily want to take fish oil. Maybe they follow a vegetarian diet. And so here's Now Phosphorine from sunflower oil to support your brain, your cell membranes, your nervous system, and enhance memory and mood. And then I want to tell you, I have Janet's Best Brain. And Best Brain has all of those different ingredients that enhance the production of neurotransmitters, support your mood. You have quick thought, something that you absolutely need on Jeopardy. You have to have that information, but you have to access it quickly. So Now, Phosphorine, Janet's Best Brain, and I am available at Save-A-Lot today from 11 to 3.
All right.
Tonight, we are having a macrobiotic chef talking about how to cure all ills. That's at the Institute of Advanced Medicine.
All right. Can you give them all give them the information of when they can expect to find you?
I can. Okay, so today from 11 to 3, I'm at Save-A-Lot, 754-307-1650. Call Save-A-Lot Nutrition Center to find out hours and so on. Tomorrow, I will be there from 12 to 5.
You did it.
Saturday, 11 to 4:30. So lots of different times to come and see me. Bring your blood work, bring your medication list, bring your supplement list, and I'll go through it with you and get your approach to supporting good health very focused.
All right, Janet. Good talking to you, and we'll speak to you again soon. All right?
We will. Happy day.
You take care, and we are back.
Yeah, so there's definitely a setup going on here with a fantasy of removing Trump from office.
Well,
with the Trump.
yeah, but these people are delusional.
Yeah, but they're running the country. They're at least the government.
They're not going to be running the country.
They're
Trump's
running
running the country. That's
Well,
what's going to be the bottom line of all this. Who do you think's going to come out on top of this?
Oh, Trump.
Of course.
But I'm not. That doesn't mean that they don't have plans.
These people are in over their head. They're desperate.
Well, the Republicans aren't handling this right.
Sylvia windmills.
I heard a Republican this morning. I don't know which one it was. He's one of the senators. And he says, we're going to make sure that no matter who watches this, that they know that this was a fair process. When Republicans start talking about being fair with these low-life, scummy tyrants in the Democrat Party, that means witnesses. And that means dragging this out.
There are too many good people up there to.
There should be no witnesses. There should be no witnesses.
Who's the weird-looking guy that I love so much? He quit and now.
Trey Gowdy.
Trey Gowdy. I mean,
Steve
there are
Kane
too
show.
many Trey Gowdys up there to let them get away with anything. I'm sure they'd like to. I don't disagree with that. But I don't think they're going to be successful at all. I think this is going to destroy them.
Yeah, Trey Gowdy was so good he quit. I never trusted Trey Gowdy. He was always a big talker.
You don't trust anybody.
Trey Gowdy was always talking, and then when it got down to it, he always dropped the ball. When he he had the hearing with Lois Lerner and Hillary Clinton on Benghazi, and he was big shot until the hearing finally. Now, Mrs. Clinton, you didn't do anything wrong in Benghazi, did you? Oh no. Okay, thank you for your time, Mrs. Clinton. He was a joke. PJ.
Well, she came out of that meeting real well.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. PJ.
Don't you remember how that happened?
Yeah, but Trey Gowdy always disappoints at the end. He's a big talker, but when he gets down to the moment, he always drops the ball. PJ, you're on the air.
I think Jim is praying that his wife loses. I'm talking about Elizabeth Warren's professor husband.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
the guy who she was surprised was at home where they live. Yeah. Yeah.
That was a weird video when she was drinking.
Yeah.
Well, this is a weird call.
You know what? I'll tell you. I'll tell you an interesting thing about your topic of discussion for today's call. I would call this the late news. Why do you think I refer to your call as the late news?
Because I'm late.
How late are you?
A couple days.
6 months or a year? When was that video? I know. Yeah, exactly.
Talking about Warren now. I mean.
Yeah. So there's things now. You're back in time like 6 months to a year ago.
Yeah, but I'm thinking he catches hell on a regular basis at home.
I don't know why you're even talking about her husband. Who cares?
Exactly.
I don't understand. What about this? I've been talking a lot today, PJ, about what everyone's calling a hot mic moment. Do you agree with me that that was not a hot mic moment, but that CNN was working with Elizabeth Warren to get that mic moment happening, and that was scripted, that she knew the mic was on? Yeah.
The Obama people.
That's right. All right, appreciate the call, PJ. The late news. Talking about stuff from a year ago. Well, I did reference it yesterday. A reference is not a discussion. She doesn't seem, I don't know, Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren is the most dangerous Democrat running.
But she
has a personality disorder, according to Dr. Lemowski.
I am as likely to be the Democratic nominee as she is. And what
This
the odds
time,
are on me.
But this isn't the last election. President Trump is going to be reelected for 4 more years, not for life.
She's never going to get it. She's going to emerge from this as the villain.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's already happened.
Okay. Yeah. Well, but she's still out there. I don't like this idea of Republicans talking about this will be a fair trial for all Americans. What this guy said on Fox, he says, we're going to make sure
Their butts.
no matter what the Republicans do, the Democrats are going to criticize it.
That's all that's a reference to is that they're going to find a way to get a couple interviews, and that's going to backfire.
When they say, Steve, when the
as soon as they do that, we're going to come in and with Biden's.
I don't think so. There's 2 witnesses, right, that we want to see. Biden and the whistleblower. The Republicans will call neither.
Well, if that's the case, they're not going to get to call any witnesses either.
The Republicans,
between the rock and the hard place.
They'll have witnesses, but it will not be the whistleblower, and it will not be Hunter Biden.
Oh, they'd never get away with that. They would never get away. If they allow the anti-Trump witnesses, and then they would come back with a cop-out and not put the Biden in.
When I hear a Republican say fair trial, that means it's going to be a trial to screw over Trump, which screws us over.
No, I think what's going to happen is they're not going to have witnesses. They're going to use the leverage with Biden's kid, the threat hanging over the
or as Biden calls it, my surviving son is who Biden calls it. My surviving son. They're Biden's surviving son. How pathetic of a man is Joe Biden? Yeah, my surviving son. If a caller called earlier and they said that if the Republicans call Hunter Biden and the whistleblower, neither of them will show. They have to show. This is a trial. There'll be a subpoena signed by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. You got to show up.
Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, is that the same Chief Justice that
sold us out on Obamacare?
Sold us out on Obamacare?
Yeah, he's going to be there today when they read the articles of impeachment. They're going to swear him in. He's going to come in with his robe and look all important. But you get a subpoena to testify in this Senate trial. You got to show up. You can't say, "Oh, I'm not showing up." You got to go to jail. This is a criminal trial. This isn't some congressional hearing.
They only go to jail if the powers that be want that to happen, and I think we agree, I believe, that the powers that be are questionable at this point.
All the Republicans are compromised. They have conflicts of interest. And most of the Republicans in the Senate hate Trump too. They just pretend to like him because the public
And you
supports
want to
him.
know if what you are predicting comes true, Trump would only benefit in the long run from the backlash. The backlash would be huge.
But Steve,
across the country.
okay, you're talking about these senators like they're sane people that see the world with clarity here. They hate Trump. They're all insane.
No, and if they make
So-
that mistake, there's going to be
so
a backlash
they-
that's going to benefit Trump.
They
Don't you
have
understand that?
they have a fantasy where they're going to bring some witness who's going to come in, and finally people like you and people like me are going to say, "Oh, I didn't know that. I can't support him anymore." And they think they're going to use the trial to turn public opinion against Trump.
That sounds.
That's what
like-
they think.
That's the they you're referring to in the Looney Tunes like shifts and
The United States senators that hate him. And you know, it's just like I was talking about this earlier. Before Mueller testified, and on CNN, an anchor says, well, you know, the report to read it is dry to read to oneself, but to hear the author himself, Mr. Mueller, come out and read from his own report, when people hear the dramatic voice of Mr., they'll wake up and see.
Right about that. We
And
sure
then,
did wake up.
and then he came out like Admiral Stockdale, and you know, but they have the similar.
Call LaBella Real Estate. LaBella Real Estate love President Trump, and like Donald Trump, LaBella Real Estate want to get you the highest dollar amount when selling your home. And when looking for a new home, LaBella Real Estate will find you the best deal. LaBella Real Estate have over 20 years of experience in real estate and mortgages, and they are very knowledgeable about the South Florida real estate market. If it's a condo, single-family home, a luxury home, LaBella Real Estate can help. Buying or selling, call LaBella Real Estate at 561-445-7023. 561-445-7023. And online, labellarealestatellc.com.
Oh, all right, Steve, we're back. We are back. Caught you off guard there. Caught myself off guard.
Yes, you did.
Caught myself off guard, too. No, we have William Youngerman on the line, Steve. It's time for the Gold Report.
It is that moment that you all wait for, the Gold Report. Boy, lately, I got to tell you, there's been a lot of good things going on to wait for. William Youngerman with us each weekday at this time to give us the word about how the precious metals did yesterday and how they shape up as doing this morning. William been advising clients on trends and movement in the gold and silver markets. And don't forget platinum. William gave me platinum before everybody else realized it. So here to talk a little bit about how great things are looking. William, what's it like this morning?
Oh, looking good, Steve. The markets, after a nice rally yesterday on all of the precious metals, gold was up $9.90 yesterday, closing at $1,556 the ounce. That's well above the 1550 support number that we were concerned about holding. And silver up 22 cents yesterday, closing at $17.97 the ounce. Big winner, platinum up $38 yesterday, closing at $1,019. And palladium up $66 yesterday, closing at $2,220. This morning we've got the metals up, gold down $2.50 right now at $15.53.50. Silver's up a penny at $17.98. Platinum continues to push higher. It got up to $1,043 so far this morning. It's right now at $1,028. That's up another $8.
Whoa.
And palladium up $20 at $2,240. So the metals are doing very well. The dollar, U.S. dollar, is continuing to lose strength, and the U.S. dollar index now down to 97.18. That should continue to push gold higher as the dollar gets weaker. And this is looking like we're about to sustain that bull rally that we've been seeing in the metals going from last year heading into this year. We're still looking for gold over $1,600 this year, and maybe a lot sooner.
What is going on with platinum? I have that little interest in platinum that I've been following for a while that is making it so hot, and is whatever's causing that likely to continue?
I think it is. The market on palladium, which is a byproduct of platinum, got into a very huge short squeeze as they were trying to use palladium, which was originally and usually traditionally much cheaper than platinum. I mean, a fraction of the price of platinum. They thought they could use that for catalytic converters. They switched things over, and found out that palladium may be even rarer than platinum, but to do so, you have to mine platinum to get palladium in most cases. That being said, what you end up with is platinum, which was becoming the byproduct and being sold into the market as they were extracting the palladium. Now they're finding out that this has backfired on them, and it's costing them more than double or multiple times more for the palladium use. So now they're switching catalytic converters, I believe, in Europe a lot more using platinum going forward in the next year. And so that should push platinum much higher, and palladium will, they're going to have to come up with a system where they can maybe use both metals or exchange, go back to the platinum use, because this palladium has gotten totally out of hand. It's such a short market, or a thin market, that the investors and manipulators can get in there and play havoc with it from the industrial side. So that's what's going forward. But I really think platinum is going to come back into its own in 2020.
Oh boy, what's the previous high on platinum?
Platinum high, oh gosh, I don't know. I think going back around $2,000.
Wow.
And you know, I mean, right now platinum is still $500 cheaper than gold, and historically, it's always been more valuable than gold, and you know, it's 15 times rarer than gold. So we'll see where it goes, but it certainly behooves people to have at least some platinum in their portfolios.
Well, this is why people go to William Youngerman to find out what's going to happen before it happens, and drop in there today and do some shopping. William, tell them a little bit about how they can turn any precious metals they may own that they're not using, old jewelry, old sterling silver sets, things like
Earrings.
that. What?
Earrings.
Earrings, well,
Earrings,
jewelry.
yeah.
How you can turn that into green cash with them.
Certainly, for over 50 years, we've made good two-way markets in all of the precious metals and collectibles and jewelry and watches and just about anything you've got that's made out of gold, silver, platinum, palladium. We can, not using it, you can bring it in, get a free appraisal. Just tell us you're a Steve KANE listener, and you get a free appraisal and cash offers. So that's as easy as that. And of course, all the precious metals we have in stock for immediate delivery if you're looking to add to your portfolio or invest in one of the best financial insurance policies you can get, gold, silver, and platinum.
All right, William Youngerman, located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. It's on the first floor, directly across the hallway from the Bank America. And you want to reach him by phone, the number 1-800-327-5010, or go to the website. Great, beautiful website. Check it out, WilliamYoungerman.com. William, I will see you after the show later today, all right?
Okay, look forward.
You take care. All right.
Oh, so I got a couple quick sound bites I want to play. We're almost out of time, but we got time, guys. Don't worry. You know, we were talking earlier about that TV show, Party of Five, where they rebooted it. No longer drunken driver, now ICE agents took the parents. What is going on in the education system is unbelievable. This is a bit of audio. It's a group. It's very short. It's only 6 seconds. I'll probably have to play it twice. It's a group of college students, and they're talking about Anne Frank. And Anne Frank is one of the most saintly figures in human history, okay? I mean, you know, everybody knows Anne Frank's story. And these college students are talking about why Anne Frank died. Everybody knows why Anne Frank died. Why did Anne Frank die? Nazis killed her, right? She died in the concentration camp because she was a Jew.
Of course.
That's not what these college kids
They've got
think.
a new story?
Yeah. This wasn't in the... Listen to this. Group of college students, they're talking about Anne Frank and why she really died. I'm going to play it twice. It's only 6 seconds.
Seeing people die.
The reason I'm going to play it twice is the first time you hear it, you're not going to believe what you're hearing, and you may not understand it because it's such a bizarre thing. They're talking about Anne Frank and why Anne Frank really died.
Seeing people die at the border from lack of medical care. That's how Anne Frank died. She didn't die in a concentration camp. She died of typhus.
Died of typhus. She died of typhus because she didn't have universal health care. She did not die in a concentration camp. Now,
Trump's fault.
That Anne Frank died. Anne Frank died in the Bougainville concentration camp. I mean, she died in a concentration camp. She didn't die of typhus in the attic. She was removed from the attic by the Nazis. I guess the Diary of Anne Frank is no longer required reading.
The border from lack of medical care. That's how Anne Frank died. She didn't die in a concentration camp. She died of typhus.
Yeah, Holocaust denial now being taught to college students. That is disgusting. Where's the ADL? You know, Anne Frank is, yeah, where's the damn ADL on that?
I remember when they used to be an active organization.
Yeah.
But no longer.
Now, this one here, I wasn't going to play this because I figured it would get so exposed that I wouldn't have to play it. But I want to play it because this is Bernie Sanders campaign workers from Project Veritas. And the bleeps are all F words, just so you know. Every bleep is an F word. These are Bernie's campaign workers. Remember, one of Bernie's campaign volunteers shot Steve Scalise, tried to assassinate the entire Republican baseball game. These are two of his campaign workers caught by Project Veritas.
Seems like Mexican people could even be re-educated.
I mean, we gotta try.
Oh, and by the way, the sound quality here, this is a hot mic moment, right? There's background noise and things going on.
Understand a word of it.
I can understand it.
In Nazi Germany, after the fall of the Nazi Party, there was one of the populace that was Nazified. I mean, like, Germany had to spend billions of dollars re-educating people to not be Nazis.
Yeah.
Like, we're probably going to have to do the same thing here. And that's kind of what Bernie's like, well, hey, free education for everybody. We're going to have to teach you not to be a Nazi. There's a reason Joseph Stalin had gulags, right? Mm-hmm. And actually, gulags were a lot better than like what like the CIA has told us that they were. Like, people were actually paid a living wage in gulags. They had conjugal visits in gulags. Gulags were actually meant for like re-education. The greatest way to break a billionaire of their like privilege and their idea that they're superior, go out and break rocks for 12 hours a day. You're now a working class person.
By the way, they're talking about what Bernie's going to do to the Trump supporters. These are Bernie campaign workers.
And you're going to know what that means, right?
Bernie doesn't get the nominees. It goes to the second round.
Milwaukee's going to burn, he just said. Milwaukee's going to burn. That's the site of the Democrat convention if Bernie doesn't win the nomination.
It'll start in Milwaukee, and then when the police push back on that, county says
if your speech is calling for the elimination of people based on race or gender or religious, like for whatever reason, like things that people can't change, then you should expect a violent reaction.
Yeah, expect a violent reaction for not supporting Bernie. We're going to have gulags. We're going to have concentration camps. And by the way, Anne Frank did not die in a I mean, that's the Bernie Sanders campaign workers. That should be all over television. And by the way, the video, Project Veritas, has subtitles on all the videos. There's no reason why this isn't on Fox all day.
Well, on that note, we thank you for joining us. It's only going to get bigger and better, folks. We got a year or more of the wildest talk radio you're going to imagine. You want to experience it all right here on the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. We bring you the latest, up-to-date, scandalous stuff that's going on. And we'll be back starting tomorrow at 6 a.m. Until then, on behalf of Brian, I'm Steve. And may God bless America.
95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
All right, guys, take care. Make sure you subscribe if you don't, all right? Take care.